Hello there.
Hello there, everybody. Welcome to Cantina Social Hour. How's it going? Good to be here. Happy Friday, everybody. Friday the 13th. Can't forget Friday the 13th. How's it going, you guys? What better way to spend Friday evening than hanging out here, talking to you guys, talking about toys, talking about collecting, talking about our favorite topics in the whole wide world with a great panel, as always. What's up, you guys? Good to see you. So I apologize for the delay. I have had a camera issue that wasn't cooperating, so now I'm on my laptop. So I hope my sound and picture and everything is coming in just as well as always. I hope it is. Good to see everybody in the chat joining us tonight for a great conversation. We are reacting to Hasbro PulseCon reveals, and then we're going to talk some hot toys, and we're going to talk some JazzInc with tonight's guests. So full reaction to today's Hasbro PulseCon in just a few minutes. Before I introduce our esteemed panel, I want to go ahead and see who is in the chat with us this evening, who's hanging out with us here in the Cantina. Dodgson, how's it going? Favorite day of the week to attend the Church of Social Hour. I like it. I like it. That's what we're here for. Grant's Galaxy, how's it going? Good to see you. Dodgson, how are you doing? Adam, how's it going? Adam, greetings, Cantinian. So Adam, our resident bouncer here in the Cantina. He is watching our chat. He is moderating. He is doing his thing. And yeah, you don't want him to escort you off the premises, but it's happened before, or so I've been told. I haven't seen it with my own eyes, but the rumors suggest that it has happened before. So no bar fights, no throwing stools or glasses or anything like that. I know you guys won't do that anyway. Let's see who we got here. We got Jeff. Hey, Jeff. How's it going? Good to see you. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Jesse, what's up, Jesse? Good to see you tonight. We got John Miko TVC. How's it going? John, I guess we'll be talking to you in just a little bit. We got Tim in the house. Hey, Tim, what's going on? Favorite day of the week? Favorite hour of the week? I'm glad to hear that. Social hour, it's my favorite hour of the week. And if I can, to hear you say that makes me very, very happy. How's it going, Mary? Good to see you as always. Happy Friday the 13th, indeed. Yeah, hopefully that's a good thing. I've heard it's good luck. I've heard it's bad luck. But, we're here in the Cantina, so, how bad can it really be? It's going to be positive. I'm Madigan. How's it going? Good to see you. How big would a 1/6 Death Star be? Alaska, Hawaii. It'd be pretty big. It could be as big as one of those Hawaiian islands, maybe. David Matthews, how's it going? Good to see you. Better A Bob, good to see you too. Rogue Killer, how's it going, buddy? Thanks for coming on into the show tonight. Let's see. Here we got Ryan in the house. Hey, Ryan. Brian, how's it going? Welcome back to Tatooine. Indeed. Planet Tatooine. Britt's with us. Hey, Britt. Good to see you as always. Hope you're doing well. We got William Rodriguez with us. Hey, William. Happy Friday. Excited about the reveals. Picked up everything from TVC and couldn't resist the Secret Wars Marvel figures. Good day for us grown children, not so much our wallets. That's how it goes, right? I mean, what can we really do? That's what we're here for. We're addicted. We're stuck on this stuff, and it's stuck on us, and they know it, and they're going to capitalize on it every chance they get. Pico B1, how's it going? Good to see you, Chad. Yeah, happy Friday to you as well. And nice. Let's see who else is in with us. We got Jeffrey in the house. Hey, Jeffrey. Definitely a hit on the credit card today. Wondering why no pipeline reveals. We'll talk about that in just a few minutes here. Nicholas, how is it going? Pretty happy with the TVC reveals on the whole. Anakin looks incredible. Nice. We got Jamie with us. We got Allison with us. We got Jeff Russell with us. We got Troy with us. We got Tim with us. How's it going, you guys? Marina, how are you doing? Good to see you. 9-inch Queen Amidala from Disney. 9-inch? Are they making 9-inch figures now? What's going on with all these weird scales? Okay, 3 3/4 inch, 12-inch, and 6-inch. Anything beyond that, like within those ranges, is just weird. No 9-inch figures. What are they trying to do? Get us hooked on a whole new scale? I hope not. Isam, how's it going? Good to see you. Awesome. Free to collect. Good to see you too. Mechanized. Good to see you too. Awesome. All right, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and bring in tonight's panels. We have a lot to talk about, so we're going to go ahead and do that, and we're going to get started with tonight's convo. Welcome if you're just tuning in to Cantina Social Hour. It's great to see you, and we're going to have a good time.
This is where the fun begins.
All right, you guys, returning to Cantina Social Hour for the umpteenth time. I don't know how many times he's been on the show, but it's been quite a few. The one and only Jazzy John Miko from the SW, the Facebook TV. I'm butchering it. What is the name of it,
John? Hey, what's up, Victoria? Thank you for having me on again. And Jazzy John Miko, should I go like this?
I like it. I think it works.
Right.
Good to see you.
A lot, of course. Good to see you. Thanks for having me on again. Exciting day today.
It was exciting in many ways. And then returning to Cantina Social Hour for maybe the third or fourth time. I don't remember exactly. We'll ask him as soon as he's in here with us. We have the one and only legendary 1/6 scale man. Lael, how's it going?
Fourth time. Yeah, so definitely fourth time. I'm looking for like 16 or 18 more. I'm ready to go. Like literally.
Love it.
So glad to be here, man. It's like I said, your shows are always relaxing. It's like the relaxing, calm, place where you're kind of away from the norm. So I'm so glad to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. And it's great to have you, both of you. I'm really excited that, two of the finest gents in the collecting community on the show tonight. So it's a privilege to have both of you. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we have a range of topics. Like I was saying at the opening of the show, we're talking Hasbro PulseCons. Hasbro reveals Hasbro PulseCon went on today, 2024. They do this every year, and it's been online only the last few years. And so this is Hasbro doing their thing, saying, hey, we're going to come out with this. You're going to pre-order this. This is a new reveal. So that happened. And there was some cool stuff. So we're going to talk about, what they did and reacted and talk about how we feel about, what we've seen today. And then we're going to get into some Hot Toys talk because there has been some Hot Toys stuff going on and also some JazzInc. Leo, I know you know this full well. JazzInc has something exciting out that you have in your possession.
Yeah. yeah. It turned into like almost the bane of my existence in a sense. And not, a good way and a bad way. So yeah, definitely. Definitely some things to talk about there.
Awesome.
I'll admit I collect I have a few Hot Toys, and Leo, my other side wall is like your wall behind you, probably not as many 6 scale, but I didn't know what JazzInc was, and I had to look it up, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah, it's
interesting. So I look forward to that part of the conversation.
Yeah, it's going to be it's going to be an interesting conversation, definitely. Yeah,
cool.
Awesome. Wait. All right, so let's go ahead and get right into it, you guys. So very first topic, you got to mention this at the top of the show because this was pretty big news this week, and very sad news and unfortunate to come across, but the legendary James Earl Jones has passed on. So what an iconic human being, a major part of Star Wars, of course, and we always honor his legacy and all his body of work that he's left behind for us to enjoy. And but yeah, sad news.
Yeah, very, very sad news. I was talking about this yesterday on Brother Cousin's show, and he's such an iconic person on screen that we know. From his voice acting, from his accolades, he's the first African American male to actually win an EGOT. All the accolades, everything he's done from theater, to just acting, voiceovers, even penning scripts, a lot of things that he's done, writing books. He's an incredible person, but like I said, just the humanitarian that he was as well. And the things that he did, that kind of slid under the radar. Like he didn't, he's contributed so much to like HBCU colleges, pretty much around the world, or within the United States itself. He's been basically a staple of excellence, and like I said, I mean, it's one of the things that he's always says is it's free to be kind. You know what I mean? Kindness is free. Paying that forward is it's a level of freedom that no one or everyone can experience as long as you apply yourself. So he's definitely missed. We think about it and how sad it was to hear that a couple days ago, but then you hear that he 93 years old. He's lived a glorious life.
Mm.
He's been able to hurdle, from a speech impediment, taking that into poetry, from poetry to acting. He served the country, at one point. You know what I mean? He was in the
Oh,
military.
wow.
So yeah, he's done so much. And to be such an iconic, character in anything that he's done, he's always owned it and demanded that accolades, all the accolades that he's gotten. So he will definitely be forever missed. It was one of the first, like I said, films that I actually saw ever in theater. In 1977 was, well, then Star Wars before they changed it to New Hope. You know what I mean? And I remember, like I was talking about this the other day, I was sitting there with my father, and as soon as the Darth Vader came across the screen, I ran out the theater. I was scared, but he came out and got me. He said, "No, you have to face your fears." Came back in, and again, we watched. That's when you can pay like $5, $5 or $6 to go see a movie, and you can sit in there all day. You know what I mean? That's just the way you can sit and watch the same movie over and over again. They never, had a problem with that. But there's so many, it's so much nostalgia when you think about James Earl Jones, and he will forever be missed. Definitely.
Absolutely. Very well said.
Very well said. Yeah.
Yeah, and the kindness message is such an important one too. I mean, as a teacher, I tell my students this every day. Like, one of our part of our mantras, it being kind doesn't cost anything. So we should be giving it out like nothing, like nothing
candy.
else.
Like Halloween candy, right? Yeah,
exactly. Because I mean, it's the one thing that you can do that can genuinely make a difference in anybody's day. Whether they're having a good day or a bad day. I mean, that could be the difference. So I mean, it's just something to keep spreading.
Definitely.
Other memorable movies or theater that you liked of his, Leo?
Oh my God!
Stand out for you?
He's done so much. I mean, from Othello, which is basically theater.
Right.
Fences was one of my favorite. Basically that he did. It was him with Vance, which was Angela Bassett's husband. His rendition of actual Fences. Again, Sandalot. I definitely love Sandalot. Field of Dreams, of course. Star Wars, Conan, Hunt for Red October. So I mean, all these films that he's been a part. Exactly, the films that he's been a part of. You know what I mean? When you think about it, it's like he's always a commanding. Oh, and of course, Lion King. I mean, we can't take that away.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean? Like when you think about it, it's just so much of him. He's like when we're in the Star Wars, like I mean, again, being such a huge Star Wars fan, there were two individuals that within the last 10 years we were like, you know what, we have to hold them sacred. These are people that we have to hold sacred. Hopefully that they got a strong insurance policy out on them and that they're taken care of. That's James Earl Jones and John Williams, both of them, because they're such staples, you know what I mean? Like major. And it's like, yo, we need to protect them. They need to be protected at all times and make sure that they are okay. And again, it was, the inevitability of the situation, knowing that, again, they're up in age and they have to pass on to make room for someone else. But at the same time, we pay them homage and celebrate those lives. So yeah, it's huge. It's definitely huge, man. For real.
Yeah, and it speaks to also let's not take things for granted.
Right.
John Williams would come to Tanglewood about 45 minutes from me every year.
Wow.
And do with an orchestra, obviously.
Yeah.
Do a bunch of his work, and I never went. And you look back at it now and you're like, man, we gotta
Make
enjoy
it
these
happen.
moments while we can. But I'll say too, Sandlot was a big one for me, only because I think I was around those kids' age in the movie when it came out, and whatever, 93, 94. So that was always a big one for me, and just how good he was to them in that movie, how happy he was for the love of baseball, which has seemed to be a theme in a couple of his movies, right, with Field of Dreams as well.
Field of
That was
Dreams,
that was on last night too, and the whole Go the Distance, Moonlight Graham. It was good stuff. He certainly went the distance.
Yeah, he did. And the beauty of it is that we're the beneficiaries in the sense of his grace and his talent, because we've been around to see it. You know what I mean? We witnessed it. You know what I mean? His life has been imprinted on us in such a magnificent way, because we can tell those stories when people ask, if our kids ask, who's this person? Who's that? We can explain to them, well, you know who Mufasa is, you know who played that character. You know what I mean? Like, we can share those conversations. That's the most amazing part, of being in this space and celebrating his life. And it was crazy because we had just celebrated. It was Monday is when he passed. We got the news that he passed. Sunday was my mother's 80th birthday. You know what I mean? So she had just celebrated her 80th birthday. And it's like, when our parents get older, it's like you get, once they hit that 80s, even though she's in perfectly good health right now, it's just like you get in that worry phase where you worry. You're just like, oh my God, like, I have to make sure that everything is okay and stuff like that, and that she's fine. And then directly the day after, James Earl Jones, passes away. The following day, and then on the same day, there was a comic book artist, who passed as well. The very next day, Frankie Beverly, in the Maze. Well, Frankie Beverly, who basically, has one of the most iconic songs out there, he passed. There was so many people that passed this week. It was insane. It's like they were just, gone in a blink. And it's like you said, John, always celebrate the moments while you have it, because they can go away at any given time. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah. I was with my father tonight. He's 76. We were celebrating my daughter's birthday, and they're starting to start getting old, and you worry about them, and you just want to enjoy every moment you can,
every ounce. Yeah, definitely.
Well said.
For sure. All right, so moving on. I want to go ahead and bring this up now because, it is something that is coming up, and we'll mention it again at the very end of the show. But last year, for the very first time ever, John, you were part of Last Figure Standing, which was something that you started along with banthaskull.com and Tim from Bosk's Bounty and Jason from Yakface, I believe. And it was a new way for vintage collection fans to have their voice heard in a way that wasn't being represented previously. Of course, we have other things in the community that go on regularly, but this was a new format, so to speak, for doing this, for finding, what are those really in demand action figures that collectors want to see in Star Wars: The Vintage Collection. So Last Figure Standing is returning beginning tomorrow. And to kick it off, John, do you want to tell us a little bit about what's going to be happening?
Yeah. Thank you so much for letting us speak to that a little bit tonight. So, like Victoria said, right, we wanted to set up another type of polling that worked like an elimination type of round by round, where basically everyone submits their top 10 characters that they would like to see in the vintage collection. And then from there, we tally all that up. Chris and his wife, shout out to them, they go through and cleanse a lot of data. I mean, I think we had almost 15,000 submissions by collectors last year, and times 10, right? That's almost 15,000 characters that they have to cleanse through. Anyways, we come up with the 10 most wanted, and then from there we ask you to do another. You basically choose your 8. We bring 6 through to the next round, and then from there we ask you to choose 6. It goes down to 4, then 2, and then 1. So a little different way of polling. And yeah, I think it's just one of those things where if we can get a couple different ways to get Hasbro data, it helps them really ensure that, what they're looking at from a fan perspective, is really, again, just as much data as possible will help them make better decisions. It's actually kind of what I do for a living. So I work with data and analytics, and, providing insights as effectively as possible is important. So yeah, we also build a nice little fancy dashboard at the end of every year where we show all of the data and the breakdown by media, by specific movie, by media. I forgot what we called it, but basically, is it animated? Is it OT? Is it PT? Is it a Disney era? Stuff like that. So we're really excited to bring it to the next year. I'm hoping we can get over 2,000 submissions for this year. That's the goal. And we kick it off tomorrow night at 5 p.m. Eastern. Victoria will be gracing us with her presence, so thank you. And yeah, we're looking forward to it. We're going to, hopefully have some fun there. And we'll hopefully have some giveaways as well. So please join us.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. And that's at 5 p.m. Eastern time, 2 p.m. Pacific time.
Yes. Thank you.
Awesome. And I believe that's, 10 o'clock somewhere, right? Like there's people that watch these
in the UK.
shows, like, from all over the place, but, and that's on the Boss Bounty YouTube channel. Is that correct?
Yeah. And just a little reminder, the Tonica sisters won last year. So shout out to the
who won last year?
Tonica sisters.
Who?
That's right. Time for Tonica. There we go.
Absolutely. Time for Tonica. Yeah. They won last year, and they're coming to the vintage collection finally after almost half of a century. So pretty remarkable. And good stuff. No, I'm looking forward to it. And I've got my top 10 list ready to go. And I'm looking forward to seeing yours. And see, now that we're having some of these iconic items coming into TVC, like A New Hope, Luke Skywalker, and Ben Kenobi, and Chewbacca, and Han Solo, and recently released Vader and Leia. Like, what do our lists look like? I'm very curious to see what you guys' list looks like, and hopefully mine is deemed acceptable because it's a little all over the place. But
I like that. Yeah, mine's a little all over the place too. I tried to sprinkle in, everything from tertiary characters to troops to different medias, a droid of some sort, a sprinkling of everything. So and you know what? A lot of this stuff has proven too that when we see things on both March Madness or Last Figure Standing, that make it pretty far, right? Or make it into the brackets or make it into the most wanted, that, we're seeing these things come through as, revealed or pipelined with Hasbro. And I think that says, for one, Hasbro's listening on both sides of that. They're listening from what we want, but also they're really understanding what wants we have as well. So great stuff there. And again, we're just really looking forward to it. We we put a lot of work into this, and we're just hoping people enjoy it and have fun, and just creates conversation.
For sure. And Adam notes here that the live stream for the Boss Bounty event is already on. It's been posted. It's on Instagram. It's also on YouTube. So if you guys go to the Boss Bounty YouTube channel, it'll be there, ready to go for tomorrow. So you can select a reminder and that way when it's going live tomorrow, you'll get it reminded that it's happening. And we hope to see you guys there for sure.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, and we'll mention that again at the very end, just to remind folks that maybe, because people are coming in at all times. But yeah, if you're just joining us right now, we are live, Cantina Social Hour, Friday night. We've got John Miko in the house. We got the 1/6 Scale Man in the house. And we're about to get into our reaction to Hasbro PulseCon, which took place just today. Well, before we do that, I do have one other thing to go ahead and bring up here. Because I talked about this last week, and there are a few things here that I did want to call attention to, because we had kind of like hints at them, but we hadn't actually seen them. And this is a line that I have collected like off and on. But now that there's a new movie, there's actually new stuff to buy, which is kind of fun. So we got these brand new Beetlejuice figures from various companies. Last week, NECA had some reveals. Hot Toys had something. Sideshow had something. And Tamashii Nations mentioned in just like a little hint that they too were going to bring something out. And now we're getting to see it finally. So this is their 6-inch 1/12 scale Beetlejuice figure. And of course, we love the SH Figure Arts figures. They do a really good job with them. So yeah, this is a really fun. It's a really fun figure. Trying to blow this up here, but from what we're seeing so far, and these pictures aren't zooming in for whatever reason. But yeah, it looks cool. I'm excited for it. I haven't pre-ordered it yet, but because I know there's one other one I'm going to show in just a minute, but. Yeah. Do either of you two? Well, I guess first of all, have either of you two seen the new film yet?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
I have not.
Yes, I did. Listen. I loved it. I loved it because it's like I said, it was nostalgia. You know what I mean? And on top of that, I think that Michael Keaton, he even advanced the character more in this one than he did. I mean, he did a lot more in the last one. I mean, as far as like he was very animated with his body, but as far as like the wit and just everything about he hasn't lost a step. You know what I mean? And I thought it was incredible. I've loved Beetlejuice since its inception. You know what I mean? Michael Keaton's killed it. Then to have this many choices, again, we talked about it on my show last week. And we were trying to decide. I mean, it's been a hard decision between Sideshow and Hot Toys, but I think the deciding factor came down to like production, and we don't know the production. Like we see the prototype for the Hot Toys version, but we don't know what it's going to look like during production. But we do know what the production for the Hot Toys version what that looks like. And there were some, things that were different, like from the actual prototype. We know that from the prototype, things are bound to change. But it did soften it a little. So a lot of people were like, well, see, this is what I was talking about. Let me just go towards, the Hot Toys version. And then there were some people that were talking about the NECA version as well. But yeah, it's I mean, right now to get this much Beetlejuice is spectacular because, like I said, it's definitely well deserved. I mean, I would advise people to go see it specifically for the closing, the last act. Last act was extremely funny. I've never seen. I was laughing so hard the entire time, but I would definitely go see it for the last act. Because it was incredible. Like the entire movie was good, but the last act was incredible. Loved it.
Yeah, no, for sure. I loved it too. I thought it was fantastic, and a lot of nostalgia for the original movie. And so to see it back and to see all these collectibles suddenly springing out from the woodwork is kind of touching in a way. I'm enjoying seeing what I'm seeing. But yeah, and I did see the secret base photos and videos of the Hot Toys version, and I like it better than what I had seen from the photos on Sideshow's site previously. I'm looking forward to it. So in addition to this version here,
sorry, I was just going to ask: Did they sing any Harry Belafonte at the end of the movie?
Oh, nah, they did something else. They I mean, it was creative at best what they did and how they pulled it off. It was so funny. just to see how they did it. I was like, wow, this is incredible. But they did such a great job with it. But it would have been like John, it would have been dope if they would have played some Harry Belafonte. But and then I was, you know what, Victoria, I was wondering why there was a particular, and I don't want to give it away, I don't want to spoil it for people, but I was wondering why a particular character wasn't in it. But then when I found out why that character wasn't in it, I was like, oh wow, okay, well, yeah, maybe it was a good thing he wasn't in it. So yeah, you definitely want to go check it out. You did. Yeah, I was, John, you'll enjoy it, man. Like if you enjoy nostalgia, then you'll definitely enjoy it. You'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
You'll love it.
Yeah, definitely want to see that. And I haven't had a chance to see Alien.
Romulus.
Romulus.
Bro.
Both look so good, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So we also have the Mesco version, which, Mesco is like kind of like the pinnacle in terms of, 1/12 scale 6-inch figures. Like, they're known for their detail, the soft goods, all the accessories, and they are very pricey for a 6-inch figure, but they tend to do really good work with their stuff. And, so they're doing their own version. And it's pretty nice. It comes with the headstone, and it's based on the original film. And it has quite a few accessories that come with it. The book for recently deceased. Yeah, I mean, different heads you could put on there. I mean, it's pretty loaded. It is pricey, but you get a lot of things with this figure. You get the shrunken head, which is kind of fun. So yeah, it's pretty neat. I don't know if I would personally go this route or SH Figure Arts. I think the Figure Arts one is based on the newer film, which, pretty similar, honestly. But there are those subtle differences between the two. But yeah, again, at the end of the day, it's really fun to see more figures, more product from these films. I just hope they do more characters, because every figure for many companies, just Beetlejuice so far, and I really want to see other characters too.
My daughters are big fans of what's the girl's name? Ortega?
Yeah. Jenny Ortega. Is it Jenny Ortega or something like that? Yeah, I think it's because she was good in what is it, Wednesday?
Wednesday. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think she's currently filming Wednesday 2 right now. So yeah. Season 2.
Yeah, I can get them to come with me because of that.
Yeah. It's good though. It's definitely a good movie.
No, for sure. It was a lot of fun.
Cool.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and, as promised, we're going to be reacting to Hasbro PulseCon reveals. So I always like to poach my images from my pals over at banthaskull.com, because they so conveniently post these photos on their site when they're showing the official images. And, obviously VC doesn't have like a dedicated website. We're all over the place, but no official website, not in 11 years, probably never will have one. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and turn to banthaskull.com. If you guys at home would like to follow along, just shoot on to banthaskull.com. And but I will be showing the pictures here as well. So Hasbro PulseCon, they revealed things for G.I. Joe, Transformers, Marvel, and Star Wars. And today we got to take a look at the vintage collection and some Black Series items, including one roleplay item. And I guess we're going to start with Black Series just so we can get those out of the way. Because, we obviously have Black Series collectors out there. We respect that and definitely want to show them first. So let's go and pull this up. Commander Bakara from Revenge of the Sith, a very memorable clone from that film, even though I don't think he had any dialogue, but he did have a memorable role in wiping out a certain Jedi master.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love clones, and to see them in whether it's TVC or Black Series, I'm all for seeing more clone product. So yeah, here he is. There's the box, and the figure looks pretty nice. Got the soft goods skirt going on.
Some soft goods action.
Yeah, nice sculpted. Yeah, it works.
That looks nice. It definitely looks nice. And the thing is, Black Series, they always kind of beat Hot Toys or any 6 scale collect. They beat them to the point, to the punch. because like it's easy to mass produce these for them, as opposed to and this looks good. I wouldn't be surprised if we see it in those forms, but nah, it looks good.
Yeah, they did a good job with this one.
And they did I always say his name wrong, but Kiadi Mundi.
Yeah.
Kiadi Mundi. They did him last year? An updated version of him, so
yeah.
Makes sense to get his crew.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Now all they need is a Galactic Marine to round out that scene.
Galactic Marine,
yeah.
Of course, we do want these in TVC. Just got to throw that out there. We do want these in TVC as well, because we haven't had these done in, 2000s, over 15 years ago.
2000s, yeah. And we have the new clone Trooper Buck, right? So
yep,
should be an easier thing to do now.
Absolutely. But yeah, good posability. Nice,
great
nice clone. The next one is the Commando droid. This is from the Clone Wars, and this is a fun one to see. I love when they bring in Clone Wars into the main line, whether it's Black Series or TVC. So to see the Clone Commando, which was very memorable in the Clone Wars, it's kind of like basically like a very more exciting version of the battle droid, very athletic version of the battle droid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to see this one too.
Definitely.
And we do want it in TVC as well.
Yes. Yeah, they were having a lot of fun with this one and how they could pose it and make sure it could do everything they wanted it to do without it. The engineering obstacles. So it was pretty cool when we talked about that.
Yeah, and he's got some pretty nice looking weapons too. He's got a giant blade. There's also, moving on, this is from Jedi Survivor.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm saying this right. Dagan Gera,
yeah.
Yeah, and this was a neat one too. Like, I actually haven't played the game, and I've said this before. I don't have the latest. I have a PS4. I don't have a PS5 yet.
Yeah.
Because I'm not really much of a video game person, but it's just kind of like when I eventually get around to getting one, then I will play it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's cool to see. I mean, it's a really neat looking character. I wasn't familiar with these characters. I don't play the game yet, but
he was, and the thing is, because if you actually see, if you look at him, he's basically wearing High Republic garb, because he was part of the High Republic at that particular time before he was actually, held in captivity. It's a tragic tale. Like, it's a tragic story about this particular character, but he plays such a role, in the game. Like, it would be incredible to see a character like this in live action. It would have been, awesome to see. But yeah, it's funny though that they bring him out in his High Republic garb and not the way he actually looked in the game. You know what I mean? Because again, like, this, if you when they give you a quick little backstory on this, on the characters itself in the game. But even if you read like the High Republic books, you kind of go more into the lore of his character in the Downfall, where everything was changing. So yeah, that's interesting to see. I would love to have it in 6-scale form, but yeah, we don't even get a Cal Kestis yet, and they promised us that line. So I'm like, come on, man.
I know, man. Maybe one day.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a really nice looking figure.
Yeah.
It translated. I mean, again, I'm not familiar with the source material exactly, but it translated well to an action figure, I would say, because it looks really cool.
Okay.
We also they revealed their Luke Skywalker from A New Hope, which they had pipelined earlier this year. This is the first time they've tackled this version of Luke, I think, since 2017 or so, in Black Series. And yeah, he used to have the soft goods shirt. Now he's got all sculpted plastic pieces. So, not only is he finally coming to the vintage collection, but Black Series is getting an updated version of him too. And he looks quite good.
Those binocs are killing me.
Yeah,
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that once we go to the TVC one.
we
But,
will.
Oh,
Prince Shizar from Shadows of
this
the
is
Empire.
cool.
yeah,
Very cool.
this is super cool, man.
Yeah, this is it's nice to see them reaching out to legends for source material for Black Series, and
Yeah.
I hope they do that for TVC too. Because I mean, I don't really care for this character, honestly. Like, me and my brother had some of these figures when we were back in the 90s, and this figure was like one of the biggest peg warmers in the 3 3/4 inch line at the time. He was everywhere. We grew to hate the character. Just we didn't know anything about him, but we saw him everywhere, and like every store we get, oh, they don't have anything new because they have all these Prince stores, which we didn't even know how to say his name back then because it looked weird, right?
Zizor.
Yeah, we would we would say, I'm not going to repeat the way that we said it because it wouldn't sound right here, but he pronounced it with like a J sound, I will say.
Prince Eyesore.
Yeah, that's basically what it ultimately was. It was an eyesore. But yeah. Anyway, so we ended up with several of these figures somehow. I guess relatives or whatnot got them for us, for birthdays and stuff. But we ended up tying one to, because I grew up in Texas, and back over there you could do fireworks, till the cows come home, essentially. So we had leftover fireworks from, I think, 4th of July, and we strapped Prince Cheezer to one of our rockets. And we hadn't developed an intellect to the point where we would understand the effect that a lightweight rocket strapped to a equally weighted plastic action figure would have. So we got some firsthand experience with the physics of resulting from that. And yeah, the rocket went up, and then it turned right towards us. It came straight at us. We had to duck out of the way.
Yeah.
And by the time the little, the rocket, it never really exploded, but by the time it went out, he was basically just like a charred piece of plastic. So it was kind of satisfying in a way. It was so annoying to us, but yeah, we never did that again. That's kind of like some Sid from Toy Story type stuff. I know. It's bad.
I'm not sure if you had a childhood if you didn't like burn up a few figures or
right. If you didn't have like I used to. It was crazy because I was telling my cousin how I used to, because you had the G.I. Joe figures, you can actually I used to unscrew and just mix body parts and stuff like that back and forth because you could do it. We've come a long way. We've come a long way, like literally.
Wow, look at the sculpting there. It's pretty amazing.
It's very good. It's definitely very good. The detail on that is top notch. The tailoring is impressive as well.
Yeah. Yeah, those are soft goods coming off his elbows too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, very nice.
Or that's what it was. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Gotcha. Princess Leia returning to the Black Series again. They last did her, I think, in 2016, and we know how that went. She had a really bad head sculpt, and then they went back to the drawing board, and 6 months later she came back with a revised head sculpt, which looked really good. But this is a completely from the ground up brand new figure, and it almost feels like it was designed at the same time as the recent TVC version, because just the engineering of it and all looks very, very similar, what with the removable hood and all that.
Yep. Scaled up, scaled down, however they do it.
Yeah, it's interesting because the last Black Series version didn't have pants. I don't know what's accurate to the film, like did she have pants or not, but the TVC version and this Black Series version have pants on. So, I mean, maybe that's more accurate. I'm not sure. But it is interesting to note. Yeah, like the Luke figure, she looks really good. I think they did a bang-up job with this one.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
And she's more posable than the TVC version as well.
Oh. Wow. It's just the photo reel. The photo reel to me is just such a game changer.
It is. It sure is. For role play, we'll go ahead and talk about that one real quick. So this is the Armorer's helmet
Yeah.
They've been doing a lot of helmets lately, but yeah, this is the most recent one. It's now for pre-order. You can get the Armorer's helmet if that's something you're interested in. I know, John, you buy some of the helmets. I do as well, but I don't buy all the helmets. This one probably I would not pick up, but nonetheless, it's kind of neat, I guess, for Hasbro that this line continues to do well, it would seem, because they keep pumping out helmets.
Mm.
Yeah, I have a few helmets. I have a new one I'll show off later with our acquisitions. But
Awesome.
I like sometimes to put the helmet with the six scale figure. So that's always a fun thing. I don't know if you do any of that, Leo.
What the
I take the helmets and I put them with the 6 scale figures.
yeah, like just as a display option. Yeah, yeah. I mean, because it's crazy because Toya, she's a massive Armorer fan. So when she saw this today, she was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna have to put that on my Christmas list," because she saw it in our Figure Flex Friday Facebook group, and I was like, "Okay, so now I know what it's hitting for." But yeah, I mean, definitely, man, like this. That's an idea because she has her own, like she has her own armor figures, like 6 scale figures. So to have that
Nice.
as a display option would be incredible, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
It looks nice. It looks like they did a good job with it. Yeah. So we're gonna go back to TVC. All right, you guys ready for TVC? I know everybody's waiting for TVC. We're gonna go to TVC. Don't you guys worry. There's still more here to jump to. So all right, back to the top. All right. So Black Series got Luke. So is TVC. This was pipelined a little bit earlier this year to coincide with the Mos Eisley Cantina HasLab. And we're getting to see finally Farm Boy Luke, the figure we've been asking for to be redone for 20 years, because that last one that they did for the Vintage Original Trilogy Collection 2004 just wasn't cutting it. It didn't cut it back in 2004. It certainly isn't cutting it in 2024. And they've done like retools of it, a few years after that, but they haven't done anything definitive. So it's really nice that finally in the Vintage Collection, they are tackling this iconic character in this iconic outfit that is very well known, whether or not you are even a Star Wars fan. I mean, Luke in this outfit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, finally we get to see him. I'm going to hold onto my thoughts, but John, based on what you're seeing here, these images of Farm Boy Luke, do you have any initial thoughts on the way the figure looks?
Yeah, I mean, well, it's funny. You're talking about the 2004 figure. For its time, it was like the most articulated figure, right? But it just didn't. It didn't work from his likeness and the soft goods and all of that stuff. But excited to see him. I am a fan of more of the using the PVC or the flexible PVC, whatever, for the lower part of the tunic or shirt. There's probably going to, I would think, be some iterations of this. I think Chris might have noted during the reveal that there's going to be more to come with Luke. I forgot how he said it, but it had to do something with the boots and different variations. I'm not feeling the likeness, but I feel like Mark Hamill is one of the hardest people next to Harrison Ford to like nail down. But I will say a lot of times I don't think I like a likeness, and then I get it in hand, just like Cobb Vanth. And I just got Cobb Vanth, and it is pretty amazing. So I'll say that there. I do wish he had some binocs, but there's probably going to be, again, some other versions of Luke with those accessories. As we know, Hasbro, likes to do different variations of things and leverage that tooling.
Right.
The boots, I guess. I mean, I'm learning things too. That these are more accurate. The straps. I'm sorry, what is it called? The material that he wraps around his boots is a more accurate color to what he looked like in production on the film versus the pre-production films that had, I think, a darker color. So in the comments, please, or if you guys know, this is what I'm learning. So pretty excited. He looks like he can articulate very well. They showed him with the double-handed hold of his saber as well. So, it only took 344 TVC figures for us to get here, but we're here, right? I think it's 344, if I'm not mistaken.
It's quite a few. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
how do you feel?
I mean, I was very much looking forward to it, right? Like it's cool to see it, but I don't think it's an exact, the likeness is 100% spot on. In fact, I would say the Black Series one maybe looks a little bit closer to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's
what I was going to say.
Yeah, like SH Figure Arts did their own version of this figure, 6-inch version back in like 2017 or so, and I think that even looks closer than what I'm seeing on these two.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I know it's always been a challenge for them to dial in Luke's likeness going back since the beginning. But I mean, looking at how well they did with Leia and looking at how well they do with pretty much every new human character that they develop now in either TVC or TBS, like it's a little curious to me that they couldn't get it a little bit closer.
I know. I'm hoping it's better in hand.
We'll see. And Leia, I know you were collecting these. Your collecting started, I believe, with this scale. Is that correct?
Yeah, originally started with this scale, and then I moved into, once that 1/6 scale bug, I got that itch. It was just like, okay, here we go. You know what I mean? Like, what do we do now? But every now and then, like I said, I still, even now, to be quite honest, I still have that itch, and I'll go back and I'll collect some of these. Because I actually have like my display upstairs for most of like this, my Black Series as well, and I actually have that with like some of my early Kenner models as well.
Cool.
But yeah, like I mean, what they say, once a collector, always a collector, because you just have that itch every time you see it. You got to have it, especially if it represents something that you love. But I will agree, between this, the likeness, it's almost like it looks, in a sense, like too polished. And I know you can't be really too picky with it, you know what I mean? But it's like almost a bit too polished. But for a scale and for what it represents, I mean, we've come a long way. But I agree when it comes to the likeness. It's sort of like when I look at him, he reminds me of what is the guy who played in I forget his name. He played in what movie was that? Which movie was it? He was the young kid, Liam Neeson's, I think his stepson in Love Actually, and then he was also in what was it? The Maze Runner, in those movies as well. Like, he's been in a couple of them, but this is what the character, he reminds me of that character sort of in the face a little bit, or the actor that is. But yeah, no, like it's still like I said, it has its space. But between this and the Black Series, preferably the Black Series would win for me.
Yeah, I think we've been. I'm sorry. Were you going to say the actor?
I forget his name.
No. I will say, I think I've noticed that in TVC that some of the paint deco or the final weathering or deco on top has been kind of lacking, even in some of the accessories like blasters and rifles as well. We just got Cobb Vanth, and his rifle is all black, and he has like no weathering on the figure. So he has the, obviously the armor weathering and all of that, but like, some of these just need like a final wash to come through them to give them kind of a more realistic, dirty, not dirty, but not like their clothes just came out of dry cleaning look.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But I'm sure they will indeed do variations of this. I think with Leia too, that's probably going to happen. So I wouldn't be like totally surprised if they tweak the head sculpt for some version.
Yeah, it looks baggy, right? His I forget, like his clothes were kind of oversized, so they got that right.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited. Look at that card.
I know. That's what it comes down to, I think, is seeing this character on this card in the vintage collection. It's like the figure that needed to be in the vintage collection more than any other. Yeah, it's great. So yeah, that's Luke, and definitely let us know what you guys think in the comments, and we'll read through those in just a bit here. All right, Anakin Skywalker. This is one that they pipelined earlier in the year as well. And people were optimistic, hoping that it was going to be a completely brand new sculpt. And some folks were saying, well, no, it's not. It's probably going to have a brand new head. But here it is. I can't really tell what's going on, whether it's new or there is some reuse or retooling. But yeah, the card looks great. I guess we'll start there. The card really looks, I love the picture that they're using of Hayden Christensen on there.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah.
As far as the figure himself goes, like, I don't know. I'm kind of struggling to, like, part of me feels like it looks brand new, like the whole thing. But then I look at like the way in some of the pictures, like when you look at the arms, they kind of look like the previous version.
It looks new to me. And I know people have commented on this, but it just, I think, gets us excited for a Revenge of the Sith version of this one, with leveraging some of this tooling, like the lower body and the arms and the lower arms, and
yeah,
it's pretty good. I don't know about his likeness either, but again, I'm gonna wait for in hand to really make a judgment call. And it obviously has like this is kind of a tell as well, like it has the 2-piece head with the head and then the hairline that's added on
with the glued on
as a separate sculpt. So it's like, are they going to leverage that again? Why are they doing that? I know it's also to help with paint, or at least mold the hair and color, so they don't have to apply a paint deco. But it makes you ask that question, is what else is to come for Mr. Chosen One?
Yeah. Yeah. I need to see more pictures of it. It looks pretty good. This, when they pipelined this one, I thought it was going to be the Revenge of the Sith one, because I was driving at the time. I wasn't watching the stream, earlier this year, and they said Anakin Skywalker. I'm like, whoa. But then I found out like that it was actually this version. I'm still excited for this version because I love this outfit as well. Yeah, I need to see more pictures of it, because I feel like maybe this is a little bit digital or render-y. So maybe when we see a final, production sample, maybe it'll look a little bit better. But yeah, I mean, Luke and Anakin in one wave, like, that's pretty major.
Awesome. And the soft goods here is done well. I feel like I don't know, but I think maybe when it's longer, it seems to tend to work much better than a shorter tunic or lower shirt type thing. Yeah,
definitely. But no, if it is all new, we're definitely not gonna be able to stop here. We're gonna need Obi-Wan in his Clone Wars outfit, and we're gonna need a new Ahsoka as well. So
yeah, young Snips. Yeah. A lot of people some people are commenting on the prior version that looked like, what were they saying? The older one is super skinny. Is like, they kind of joked around. It was like Anakin was on a lot of death sticks at the time or something. He looked very strung out. So good to see an update.
Yeah, no, it definitely looks a little bit more proportionate, I would say, than that last one. Yeah, I want to learn. I want to know more about it. Like, there was a part of when they were doing the stream, they had the chat going, and they said, if you have questions about, the vintage collection, leave them here. And I did. I said, is this a brand new sculpt or is it reuse? And of course, the questions they jumped to were like, how do you balance, figuring out what figure to make, and like, the other one was something like,
What's your favorite thing you worked on or something?
Yeah, I know. It's like, come on. Like those are the questions they're gonna. And you know, I really felt like the chat was going like a million miles a minute. Like I really don't think that those were actually. I think those were like pre-selected. You know, but that's just me. Maybe they weren't. But I mean, it was like, come on. Like those are the most generic, like safe questions that they could possibly pose and ask. But anyway. That's neither here nor there. Now I have something else I want to rant about here. Clone Trooper Lieutenant. All right. I'm going to get this out of the way because this has been bothering me all day. And I was just like, I can't wait till tonight. I'm going to rant about it a little bit. So, okay, this is obviously based on the Ahsoka show. This is Clone Trooper Lieutenant. But this is not a lieutenant. This is the 501st Phase 1 Clone Trooper. And this is the same exact mistake that they made with the Black Series version where they labeled it a lieutenant when that was not the case. Now, it's easy to tell what the lieutenant is because there are some differentiating marks on it. The lieutenant's, the blue on the crest of his helmet extends all the way down to the visor. And the lieutenant also has blue, like 4 blue dots on his chest armor. And this is just these guys were in the Clone Wars and they were just 501st Phase 1 Clone Troopers. So I'm not sure why Lucasfilm keeps telling Hasbro to label it this way, because obviously they have final sign off on how things are named. But that it just completely inaccurate. And it really, really, really crawls under my skin that they're labeling something like this incorrectly when it's been like the knowledge has been out there for well over, a decade that this is a 501st Phase 1 Clone Trooper. So yeah, rant over.
Sorry. Sorry.
Yeah. Anyway, so the figure. I mean, brainy sculpt. This is the one that we've been seeing for the last little bit now, year or so, I guess. So they're using the new sculpt. As long as you're not reading what his name is, this is actually a really good army builder. If it was a lieutenant, it actually would not be a good army builder. But because it's a 501st trooper, it's a really good army builder, and I can see myself, going pretty deep with this figure. So, despite the fact that I'm ranting about the way he's named, they're still going to make money off of me buying multiples of this character.
Couple case assortments,
pallets,
solid cases, pallets.
Yeah. But hey, I'm all for more clones.
Easy army build. Very easy army build, for real.
Let's see here. What else do we got?
Yeah, the right blue. Is it the right blue? It didn't look like the right blue to me.
I
don't know enough.
I need to go back and look because we only see them very briefly in Ahsoka, right? So I don't know if it looks like kind of a dark blue, like a really dark blue, but I don't know if it's accurate or not. The lieutenant definitely has like a much lighter blue in Attack of the Clones.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know how accurate the color is, but it's a nice figure. It's a nice figure, and he comes with the two weapons, which is nice. Both lengths, which is cool to see.
Deidre Merrill.
Yes. So okay. So they had pipelined her, I think at Comic-Con. Dedra Meadows is coming to TVC, and this one looks really good on the card. Really good on the card.
It does. It looks really good. Ooh.
I loved her.
Bro, she made the character so interesting.
Yeah.
Like literally, I love the show, don't get me wrong, but just her arc and her acting for this role is so phenomenal. Like you just can't take your eyes off her when she's on screen. You know what I mean? Just how charismatic she is, how confident she is as a character. You sometimes you forget, like when you're watching this character, you forget, well, she is technically evil, but I'm like, well, I can't. You forget because like it's especially her, being an officer and having to prove herself. It's like, like you're rooting for her, but then like, well, she's inherently evil. Like she wants what's better for like the Empire. Like But I can't.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but she's definitely an incredible character, and the likeness in this is actually almost good, to be quite honest.
The likeness is amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and I'll let Victoria probably go into what my sentiments are as well, but what are your issues with this one, Victoria? Not to go into issues all the time, but this is the one I have major issues with.
What, Deidre? Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, I'm looking at the figure, and I see arms.
Just looking at it, right? Just looking at it.
No. I know exactly what. Yeah, the proportions are very, very unusual.
Yeah,
the pants. Are you talking like the pants proportion and the?
She has quite a thigh gap, we'll say.
Yeah. I was just looking at that just now. At first, I thought it was. Well, could it just be like the angle, or maybe like the lighting or editing that took it away from it? Nah, it looks like. Yeah, something's different there.
It's the proportions. Yeah, it's like they took the male figure.
Yep. I can see it.
And
this is the first time looking at these pictures. I'd seen the stream, but this is the first that I've seen of these pictures. So no, for sure, I can tell they used the male anatomy from the male version of the figure, the legs, the arms, and the lower tunic part of the shirt. The upper torso and the head look to be brand new, but because they didn't do the right thing, which would have been go re-engineer the figure to have full, female proportions. She looks very unusual. She looks very strange.
Yeah. Again, amazing likeness and whatnot, but it just looks really unproportionate and wonky.
And they just did this with the X-Wing pilots. Remember, they reused Luke Skywalker's body to create the girl pilots.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. That's, to me, that's a little unacceptable. I mean, when they announced this here, people were starting to speculate. Oh, well, now they'll do Juno Eclipse. Now they'll do, what's the one from Rebels? Her name, Price. I think Governor Price.
Yeah.
But some of those other characters, but it's like now you look at seeing what they're doing with this release, it's like it doesn't give me any hope at all that they're going to do any of those other characters, because they really like botched this one.
Yeah, I mean, if they do go back to the drawing board with this, I guess they can leverage that upper torso and upper arms, maybe. I don't even know, but definitely not acceptable for the next female officer. Sure.
Not at all. It's disappointing, very disappointing. I mean, I'm looking at some of these other pictures, and not even from other angles does it look like salvageable. It's just
I didn't notice that thigh gap. Now I'm just like staring at it.
It's there.
Sorry.
Yeah, definitely see it. It's hard not to see it. I mean, it's just so blatant. Anyway, so we also have. I'm watching my dog. She's kind of roaming around. We also have Jedi Master Indara. I was happy to see this one. John, had they pipelined this one before? I feel like they had, but I don't know if I remember.
Yeah, her and Yord, right?
That's right, Yord. So they had pipelined her at Comic-Con, and then we're getting to see the actual. We're getting to see what the figure looks like. The packaging looks really sweet on this one. I love the card image that they used with the yellow name pill and background. It looks really nice.
Yeah, Jedi Master Trinity. She looks great.
Yeah, and people were saying, "Oh, they're going to cancel the figures." It's like, no, they're not. They're already in they were already like too far up into the production pipeline before that happened. So that's a whole other thing. I'm going to go on a rant. Sorry. There are all these people saying, "Oh, Disney, shop DisneyStore.com. They removed all the Acolyte product." Do you know how many product for Acolyte they had when they the news broke that they weren't doing a season 2, they had 0 items on the Disney Store website. So they didn't pull any listings. There were no listings at the time. And then a week later after that, they actually did put listings up for Acolyte for some shirts. So it's just, just an example of the extremes that people jump to and people pile on, and, they see that and they're like, but anyway.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
We know that. Yeah.
Soft goods. Nice.
Looks great.
But it looks good.
Yeah, her, and this isn't a Hasbro. In this case, this isn't saying that Hasbro did necessarily. This is more the design of the figure. It just kind of bothers me a little how her tunic doesn't go all the way down.
Oh,
yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah, and that was one of my questions. Here is just the tunic is a bit too short. Compared to just the length of course, the hood and everything else is just, I don't know, it just seemed a bit off. But everything else about it looks good. Like especially with the soft goods, on the robe, and everything. But yeah, they could have, I don't know. You think that might have, and do you think, and I guess that's my question, like when you're looking at this and the tunic is kind of short, and then you look at Deidre, it looks like the jacket could have been extended too if they wanted to, you know what I mean? Like kind of, disguised that bit of a mistake. They could have extended it, but I don't know. Yeah, it looks, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's just the design of the character, because even the Black Series one looks like this.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just kind of a weird design choice, I guess, from as far as like the costume goes, I suppose. But yeah, figure. Other than that, I mean, the figure looks nice. This one does look a lot more proportionate. So that's pros, and that's the difference when you sculpt a figure from the ground up rather than kit bash with the wrong anatomy. So.
And it's always surprising, because sometimes when you think of ideas of kit bashing, and every now and then when you have the opportunity to talk to some of these designers, they always kind of state, we got to be really careful with how we can kit bash without these types of things happening. So it's kind of a letdown when you see it actually happening, and they are trying to do their best, obviously, right, to give us as much as possible with the budget they have, but at the same time, it's not working all the time. So I do want to, if you could highlight Britain Toyland's 1022 comment. I like that one. It's Jedi cozy wear. I like it. I like it. I can sense that coziness.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, me too. Definitely. Yeah, and then as far as the figures go, that's it. We're going to move on to a playset for the vintage collection. This is the Streets of Mos Eisley. This is the latest in the playsets segment, which is nice to see another one. They barely announced at Comic-Con the Mandalorian one of the Star Destroyer hallways.
Right.
So to see this one now, which is something that obviously is much more appealing. I'm buying the other one, obviously, but this is more appealing to me, of course, because it's, the Cantina focused, right? Mos Eisley. Yeah. This was really fun. This is a really fun one. And, it's a way to build out your, some people were griping, right, about the Cantina not having like an exterior, or, having a partial exterior. But if you surround it with this and you build out the streets around the Cantina, then, that kind of takes away that problem.
Yeah, there's like so many different dimensions of diorama, right? Dioramas you can do. You can just do the street. You can, it's pretty smart.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. I love it.
I know.
It's got the droid there. What's his the eye droid, security droid.
I know that's like one of. Here, I'm trying to find a better picture. That's like one of the best aspects of this set. and it's really small in this picture,
There it
but
is.
this is the first time, there we go, that they've ever done the security droid.
I love it.
Yeah, and in the stream, they show that there's actually like a button on the back where you can like move it, and it moves the droid around.
Mhm.
Yeah, Chris was having a lot of fun with that.
Yeah.
Nice.
I do wish there was an update to the Jawa, because he like can't even hold any of his blasters very well. But,
True.
yeah, and shout out to Chad Peak. I know he's done some really cool digital sculpting of Jawas sitting down in the streets and stuff. So this will go nicely with it. And I think even on your stream when you had him, he was talking about this type of concept. So I'm happy for him.
Yeah, for sure. It's great to see. It's great to see. I mean, this is just such a fun thing. I mean, this really made the event for me, honestly, because there wasn't a lot.
Yeah.
And what we saw was already pipelined. But to see like this, and to see that it's modular, and you can kind of tailor it to fit the needs of your shelf and integrate it to your dioramas however you see fit, was a lot of fun. And then of course there's this. There it is. This is the probably my vote for card of the year, maybe card back of the year.
So awesome. I like it. I like it a lot. And yeah, someone's saying the all soft goods, or well, mostly soft goods Jawa there, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. And I mean that Jawa, he just looks like, yeah, he spent too much time in the cantina for sure.
Yeah.
Hairy arms and all. You get a chance to see it.
I know.
I'd never really noticed it before. Like, you know what I mean? So the details crazy.
Yeah, that's cool. Super cool. But yeah, I do agree, John. I kind of would have loved to have seen like a retold figure at the very least, because they haven't done like a new Jawa since I don't know, because I mean the ones that they've done recently, right? Like Tika from the Obi-Wan series, I guess, was the last one, and then they did the TVC one a few years back. Those were like retold, I think, right, from like older Jawas from like the 2000s. So yeah,
I have Tika right there. I forget. I don't even think he has knees. So it's like are they even going to be able to sit down on the wall over there? I don't. Somebody help me out in the chat there. I can pull them out. But,
that display is awesome, John. I just can't take my eyes off it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. It was a custom one made. So I had a lot of fun doing that. I need like 2 more of them now for the amount of TVC they're pumping out.
Nice.
But yeah, this guy has no. I am trying to reset it up because I'm like, well, I can't fit 350 figures in here, so I have to figure something else out.
That's nostalgia everywhere. I'm just looking at it. I'm like, oh, that's amazing.
Thank you.
That is amazing.
Yeah, it's 72 inches tall by 3 feet wide. Yeah, thank you. But yeah, he does not have any knees, so I don't know if the new one does, but he does not.
So no joints to kind of bend back and forth.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's all the Hasbro PulseCon reveals. And if you're just joining in, we've got 92 in the house. Welcome to Cantina Social Hour. We're talking to John Miko and 1/6 Scale Man about Hasbro PulseCon reveals. So I mean, on the whole, there were some neat things to see here, and now that I'm looking at Deidre again, some questionable things to see, and definitely Q&A fodder for the next time we have conversations with with Hasbro about some of those choices. But yeah, I mean, the Streets of Mos Eisley is great. And like I mentioned earlier, Anakin and Luke in the same wave is pretty remarkable and kind of crazy, because when you think about like the waves we get for this line, like it's very seldom that you get two major characters in a single wave, much less, father and son in a single wave. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. It is notable there weren't any pipelines this time around. They didn't pipeline anything in either scale. John, what were your thoughts on that? Were you expecting pipelines? Was it kind of surprising that they didn't show anything?
Oh, you're right. I haven't even I've had just a couple crazy days, so I'll be honest, I haven't had time to think about that. But yeah, they didn't do anything with pipelines. They did tease a few things, like I said, about hinting at other versions of this guy right here and stuff. But yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or even an update on the ghost, like
I'm glad you brought that up, because that has had me very curious.
I forgot about that. I forgot all about it.
Yeah, I mean, when we think about the sail barge and the Razor Crest, they were pretty frequently putting up updates, showing the unpainted model, a painted model, a packaging. With a ghost, it's just been crickets. I don't know. That's because they had the Cantina HasLab and they were trying not to take away from that, or what. But even before that, and since the Cantina ended, like there hasn't been like any updates. It was supposed to ship this fall, right? Like now-ish, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. It's that's the kind of question that hopefully they can look at soon, because I'm very curious. What's going on with the ghost.
And especially with a lot of folks had an issue with backing a second HasLab without having
any type of updates.
With the ghost. So like, just I know they've given a lot of updates, like here's the box packaging, here's the dimensions, here's the weight, here's all, but this would have been a good time to give some statuses on the HasLabs as well. So, kind of a bummer there.
Yeah. I guess if you wanted to affix a rating to this year's PulseCon, John, what between 1 and 10, like what number do you think you'd go with?
I forget. Galactic Figures had like an article or post too about like the last few years, because there was the one a couple of years ago when they when they announced the Razor Crest, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that was a PulseCon where they did that one. That one was really exciting. Hey, I'm really excited to see Farm Boy Luke coming to the line and actually see the figure. I think the playset's really awesome. Yeah, I'll give it a 7. I'll give it a 7. And I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, I think that's pretty on par. Lael, any of these that you're thinking about picking up, or are we just in on a 6 scale at this point?
See, the thing is like I haven't really. 6 scale has me so swamped right now with everything that's coming. I'm still like they're definitely diving into the Ahsoka line right now. So I mean, with the reveal of Thrawn, or the release of Thrawn like a couple weeks back, and we just recently 2 days ago got the release of not the reveal, but the release finally of the Obi-Wan figure from Obi-Wan the series. So it's there's a lot coming. So it's just like I'm in that space is kind of hard to. It's like you got to prioritize with those first before you do anything else, because of just the weight, the whole gravity of the situation. So yeah, that's. I mean, but these look good. That's the thing is, and especially with the scale itself. It definitely it's enticing. Like, I mean, I see some good stuff here, and I'm like, well, that might be a possibility. But I mean, again, I'm just so thrust in the 6 scale world. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean,
mm-hmm.
It's, as they say, collect them all. But then when you actually try and do it, it's not easy.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Ken Plum. Hey, Ken, how's it going? We need to have you on the show again soon. The decided lack of updates on the House Lab, even just courtesy check-ins, feels like they've ghosted us on the ghost. Yes, they have ghosted us on the ghost. It's very peculiar. I don't know what. I really don't know what's going on. I mean, it feels to me like maybe there's some sort of a delay or something with it. Just based on their lack of communication, but I don't know.
Leo, did you order that?
What, the Razor Crest? I'm not the Razor Crest. The Ghost. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I forgot all about it. I did, because the thing is, it's like, especially with knowing the separate compartment as well, like the shuttle, everything that you want those updates. Because like I said, I mean, I have the Razor Crest. Here's the thing: it was crazy because I got the Razor Crest, and I end up getting a second one. But the thing is, I didn't pay for it. It was just sent. Oh. So, but I contacted them and pretty much let them know, sent it back, because I didn't, again, I didn't want to keep two, and like I said, that order could have went to someone else. You know what I mean? So,
wow.
Yeah, I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. But definitely, I want that Ghost. I mean, it's yeah, that definitely was a no-brainer for me. It's just, again, like everybody's saying, like the updates for it, like where and I guess it's because everything that's going on right now, it could be updates, it could be the announcement, especially the announcement of season 2 and what plans are, or if they're planning on any type of update. I don't know. It's and it could be also considered the simple fact that we have them currently working on the Mandalorian Grogu film. I'm wondering if there's going to be a role to play in that one as well. So I don't know. It depends. Yeah. And we know that they're getting we're going to see another Razor Crest possibly as well. So it's a lot going on.
Yeah, that was wild. And we just got this, right?
So right. Like, yep.
Where's the Ghost?
Mm-hmm. Come on, let's round out the team, man.
It's right here.
Right there. You can see it, right?
It's right there.
Like, let's go. Come on, man.
I'm glad. You just reminded me, John. I didn't bring that in for my new acquisition segment, but I did get 3 of those this week. 3 of those came in. So I'll let you show it for me a little bit later.
There we go.
All right. So we are going to go ahead and keep things moving here. We're not quite done yet. We still got a little bit more. All right, so we're going to switch gears here from Hasbro to Hot Toys, because everybody's talking about this brand new Obi-Wan Kenobi from the Obi-Wan Kenobi series that was actually pre-ordered some time back, but has since been revised a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
One of the gripes people had with when it originally went up for pre-order was the face sculpt didn't look 100% spot on. But yeah, so this here on the top was the original face sculpt, and this here on the bottom is the revised face sculpt. So they've gone back, they've tweaked it, which Hot Toys does do this from time to time, and they update things. Not all the time, but sometimes when there's a big negative reaction, they'll go back and tweak things a little bit. And thankfully they have here, because this figure looks way better.
Yes.
With the revision.
Yeah, it does. The original head sculpt, we used to tease people, look like Jamie Lannister a little bit. And then somebody doesn't it? He looks just like Jamie Lannister. Then someone yesterday because I did like a corner episode on it. Or was it yesterday or the day before yesterday, I think. And someone else in the chat said it looked like Michael McDonald. I lost my mind. I was like, wow, that's funny. They've definitely improved the head sculpt. You can see with the paint apps, the hair, everything looks, better. There is still, like I said, even the funny part about it is, it's like they still, the mustache in the beard look great, but it's still that gap in between the lip and the
is
mustache.
It his nose? Yeah,
it's something that it's good. It's great.
I see that.
but it's something that is slightly different between. I mean, it's not different, but it's like they can't get that aspect of it right, especially when it comes to Obi-Wan, because it's always his top lip is attached to the mustache. Now, it could be like an editor's choice. Maybe we're seeing it based on the blogger photos. It could be different once you get it in hand, but it's just like it's still that thing where his bottom lip is the main focus, but the top lip is like almost transparent, like it's not there. You know what I mean? So, you know, but other than that, I think that they knocked it out of the park. They did nail it with the likeness, the purrs with the rolling eyes. You know, you can get so many different expressions, different angles. Even the one before this, the Clone Wars Obi-Wan General Kenobi that they released was decent. I love that figure. You know, but this definitely finally, you know, they've released it, and you know, we'll get it. You know, just keep that same energy and give us the fifth brother, fourth sister as well. You know, because those were teased, you know, during May the 4th, and they still haven't done that. You know what I mean? It's so come on, man. Like, you have to make it happen. It needs to happen. But no, definitely excited about this though. And I can't wait to get it. I got this one with it's the exclusive edition with Vader, you know, his lightsaber as well inside of an actual box. So it's both Anakin's and his that he hid away, and you know, when you watch the show, he hid it away in the sand. So you get that as well. But yeah, I can't wait. I definitely can't wait for it. Finally, they released it. But yeah, it is a vast improvement, because they know if they would have went with the top version, if the prototype for that, you know, they would have got a lot of canceled orders for real.
Yeah, and some people were saying that they did cancel their orders, and now they're kind of kicking themselves for doing that, because you know they revised it. I guess you never know how these things are going to go. Sometimes they'll do that, sometimes they won't. But yeah, no, he looks good, and I guess, you know, he should hopefully be coming out soon. And I was watching your stream when you were reacting to this one, Leo, and I think you mentioned about, you know, he has the base with all the rocks, replicating that scene from the series. But I think you mentioned you were going to use that for your race.
Yeah, I'm going to use it for Rey from The Last Jedi. Because I like that scene at the very now. Again, I know there's divisiveness when it comes to like the sequel trilogy. I understand it. I just find certain things about the you know, the films that I like. I like the Rey character unapologetically. You know what I mean? I just like their, you know, her arc. Yeah, they took liberties in certain aspects, and I understand that. But I like that scene from that movie, you know, where basically she freed her friends, like by moving the rocks, using the force, having the boulders. And I was like, you know what? That would look so nice behind her, you know, rather than having it with Obi-Wan. So that's definitely what I'm going to do.
Yeah, that'll be really cool. I'll be looking forward to your video showing.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's gonna be crazy.
I have the Vader. I did not order this one because I don't know why I didn't. So now I'm thinking about that.
Yeah, it's because there's so many. There's so many Hot Toys.
I only buy a few a year, and I have to be super picky. And
you gotta be.
I think the Vader, the 40th anniversary Vader, is processing.
Yes, that one is processing. That one's actually already out right now. People are waiting for it. You know, a lot of people I know have actually gone overseas, you know, through Tim Cent, Kit, and different, you know, distributors for it. I'm waiting. I'm like, you know, I could wait. There's just so much going on right now. I refuse to basically pay or overextend myself when it comes to cost. I'll just wait till it basically arrives here. You know, I get mine through, you know, Underground Figures, so I'll just actually get it through him. But yeah, these two were like some of the first that I ordered. I mean, I have Reva, you know, both the Grand Inquisitor as well, and Vader. And shout out to Ty from Uncommon Flex for the Darth Vader. He created he created for me the Vader throne, and also the communicator with you know, Emperor Palpatine, the hologram projector. So yeah, shout out to him. But it's definitely an incredible display. But I hope they finish the line. That's what I'm saying. Like, give us a fifth brother, fourth sister, and I'll be happy.
Yeah, it would be neat if they did those. For a while, I thought they were just not going to do them after all, but then when they showed them, like you were saying, like May the 4th, I'm like, oh, well, maybe they're actually going to bring them
Yeah,
back at some point.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, no, they're keeping that dark side thing going. When they announced Grievous, I was like, oh, they're keeping this
Mm,
going. It's not over yet.
yeah. And
Um,
they could have capitalized, especially on the fourth sister. You know, especially since we got the release of Tales of the Empire, how
yep,
much of an intricate character that she was in that. And us finding out what her real name was at that point. You know what I mean? So yeah, like you can definitely capitalize on it. I just don't know what they're doing. So I'm
right,
wait and see.
totally. So I want to get both of you guys' thoughts on this because I did cover it a few weeks back when it was first put up for pre-order, but I would need to talk about it with you
Mm,
two because I know that you two are probably going to be ordering this.
yeah,
Chewbacca is the first one they've done in many years,
yeah.
and I don't have any of the others. I never thought they looked that great.
Hmm.
But this one is looking really good, and from what I saw of the secret base photos and videos, like it actually looks quite great. So,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, Chewbacca's nice to have once again.
I ordered. Yep.
He said, couldn't say it quick enough. He said,
Yep.
"I ordered. It was
I
coming."
ordered
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Same thing. I missed out on the one
yeah,
prior, and I would love. I mean, this is obviously iconic when he's got 3PO strapped to his back. They're running through Bespin there, but
yeah,
I would love a Return of the Jedi version with the parted hair
yeah,
as
yeah,
well. But we
yeah,
don't know when we'll ever get that. So
yeah,
we'll this looks great. It looks
yeah,
absolutely great. And I did get my 40th anniversary 3PO with Salacious.
yeah,
So
yeah,
grab that one too.
yeah, yeah.
Looking forward.
This is everything. And the thing is, I have the original New Hope version, and I've looked at it, because he's right there. I was looking at it and looked at this, and I'm like, wow, it's a stark difference. Because I was like, yo, this one right here reminds me of Chaka from Land of the Lost, and it really does. Like when you look at it, it's like, wow, like we really. I mean, here's the thing: it's a grail. It is definitely a grail, that's staple in your collection, and for what it's worth, is definitely good to have. But this one, it blows it out of the water just looking at it. It definitely does. The detail, the quality, and one of the things that I didn't notice, and I was looking at this picture, and I was like, wait a minute, I didn't notice, and I can't believe as many times as I've seen this film. How many times I've watched Empire. I mean, we already know that Empire is just it's everything. When it comes to the series, I didn't realize that 3PO in his, when he was carrying around 3PO, it wasn't a completed figure. Like he didn't have half his torso. You know what I mean? And but when you see him on the Falcon, it's like he's completely assembled. Like R2 is helping assemble him, and I'm like, well, where was everything at? Because everything wasn't in that sack. Like we didn't see it in the bag, but I'm like, wow, I guess we're supposed to spend. This,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's crazy. It was nuts. But yeah, this was a day one for me. It was a day one. I needed it.
Yeah, same here. It's like I have more than a few pre-orders, more than I want to admit that I have right now. But like it was like if I need to cancel one of those other ones like down the road, like to get this one, like I'll do that because I need to have Chewbacca in the collection.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a beautiful figure. It definitely is. I love the bandolier. I love his bowcaster. Like everything just looks incredible. And that you're about to click on just now. Yes. 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 She's coming. She is coming. She is coming. I don't know when, but I know she's coming because you're not going to go through this length to actually give us a full figure. You give us this particular figure with that head sculpt and not give us this figure. So she's coming soon. She's definitely coming. I got some inside sources that say, yes, she's coming soon. They're just fine tuning some things, but she'll definitely be revealed pretty soon. So awesome. I can't wait. I can't wait.
That'll be cool. I mean, a little, space in the detour for the two of them, maybe Lando and R2, like that'd be really nice.
And
Mm.
I
Is
was
the Lando? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no. Go ahead.
I was saying, is the Lando Sideshow or Hot Toys?
It's Hot Toys. Yeah, the land.
Okay.
Well, so the Lando from Bespin is Hot Toys.
Yeah.
You know, the other version from Jedi,
Skiff guard.
the Skiff guard
Yeah.
is Sideshow.
Yeah.
So yeah, but and that's the thing is like, because right now, Sideshow stick they're definitely sitting on the stock of the Lando from Bestman. Hopefully, like I said, when this drops, you know, they'll see more push to get that figure sold. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, the Lando is really great. I mean, I know they're sitting on so many still, but it really is a great figure. I mean, he's just fun, and I've always thought that's just the coolest name in Star Wars, Lando Calrissian. Like, just great name. Nice. All right, so
I will say I missed out on the Bespin gown. Leia.
It's a beautiful figure.
I'm a big Return of the Jedi fan, and I missed out on. I never did the Endor one with
the twins.
Wicket.
Yeah, Wicket. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, can I have my Luke up there? And it's my favorite Hot Toys figure. It's my Return of the Jedi Luke.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's amazing. So, it's I would say the best Luke sculpt from Hot Toys that I've seen, that I have right now, is actually from Mando.
Oh, okay.
The Mandalorian version. That head sculpt is incredible. It looks just like Mark Hamill.
Okay.
Like exactly like
I think you can still get that one, right?
I don't know. I think it might still be available. It might still be available, but the head sculpt on that one is superb. It's incredible.
Cool.
Yeah, it is really nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're going to talk a little JazzInc here in the Cantina. More specifically, there's a couple of things, but more specifically, we want to start out with the JazzInc Batmobile.
Yeah.
Because this is, kind of permeating like all aspects of like 1/6 scale community right now. It's a really big deal. And it's a really big vehicle.
It's right here.
Yeah, so I picked up the Hot Toys version, the reissue a month or two ago. And I didn't have the original version. I don't usually buy like the Hot Toys vehicles. The only things I have are like the speeder bike. I have that.
Yeah.
And then I have like the Bat Pod from The Dark Knight. But I saw this and, I didn't have the original version. I'm like, it's pricey. I think the MSRP is like $7.29 or something like that. So I was like, well, put it on the payment plan when it went up for pre-order, like last year or whenever it was. And then it's beautiful. Like I don't have it on display. It's just too big. I don't have anywhere in my current space to display it, but I did open it up and take a look at it, just to kind of glimpse it. And I was like, oh, man, it's amazing. It's incredible. It's the biggest, probably the priciest item I've picked up in my collection, like single item. But now we have this JazzInc version that you have. And when you look at them side by side, I mean, there's no denying the Hot Toys one is really cool. It's impressive on its own. But when you see them side by side, like with the JazzInc version, it's a whole other ballgame.
Yeah, it is. It's here's some thing. Here's the thing. Like I said, a few of us, Yost reached out to us. And he was like, listen, would you want to be part of the test batch? Would you want to pay yours off early? Because we have them available. We'll have like a few of them available. And if you want to be a part of that, I was like, yeah, sure. Paid it off, paid for the shipping. He sent it. Somewhere between that and transit, a lot of people who actually got theirs, it was, certain issues with it, whether it was paint, whether it was, problems with the turbine or, with the turret not staying up or the magnet on the wheels. Certain people had certain, issues with it because of in transit, there were problems. But I was fortunate not to have that, those particular issues. Maybe I think it's the canopy. There's like certain silicone pieces that I'm supposed to have for it that didn't come with it. So he's going to correct that. But other than those particular issues, the turbine, the spinning turbine is phenomenal. The light up features on the inside of the car is incredible. And on top of that, the exhaust in the back, being that, you know, you pour water in the back of the actual vehicle. It's a spout you pour back there. That comes with, you know, the actual remote. I have the remote here. It's the same remote that he had actually in the film, which is crazy. But you get like the exhaust smoke, like you get everything that comes from this car. You get sound effects that are on it as well. Like certain scenes, you can hear the sound effects. But it is yeah. See, there you go. Like it is such an incredible piece to have. And again, like I said, he did specify from the very beginning, these are test batches. You know, I think that here's the thing, Victoria, and you can say this about any product that you get, you know what I mean? Like anything that we actually receive. It's like there will be QC issues, and people who, if you pay listen, people who have paid like $1,800 for this, right? If you paid $1,800, almost $2,000 for this thing, yes, you have a right to ask questions. You have a right to be inquisitive. You have a right to want to know how the functionality is. You know, if there's anything that you see that's of any type of irregularity, you want to know what's going on. So it is us as content creators, our responsibility to provide the information the best of our ability. Now, here's the thing. What I see from my vehicle may not be the same interpretation as someone else has, because they might have, you know, issues that are completely outside of what I see. You know what I mean? So I can only go off of what I see. And I know there were a lot of concerns, you know, about, you know, the vehicle in transit, or how does it look? Does everything lay flush? You know, what have you. But I will say that those are the comments that are accepted, and he wants that feedback. Yeah, he wants to hear these things. He wants to talk to the community, embrace the community. He wants you to basically, you know, be as vocal as you can. But like any space, whether any scale, any company that we collect, you're going to get that toxic space where people are just so nitpicky. But they're not even nitpicky. They have no intentions on getting it. They just want to rip it apart. Mm-hmm. You do get that space. It's an unfortunate thing. And then what happens is the people who have valid criticisms get lumped in with that. And I don't think that's fair. That portion of it is not fair. You have the toxic side of the community. And I hate to say toxic, but there are toxic individuals there, mm-hmm. you know, that kind of create this level. And then you get, you know, certain content creators that, you know, kind of perpetuate it as well. You know, that's not really a good thing. You know what I mean? It's not, because this man is dedicated to this. He's dedicated to making sure that this vehicle, and this is why we were the test dummies, you know, for it, is because he wanted to know if there were QC issues that he had to, or QT issues that he had to, you know, go back to the drawing board or correct if they were, you know, minor tweaks that he had to make. And we reported that back to him, but he did grant me the opportunity and a few others to do an actual review. So that thing happens. You know, it's just, look, we can't run away from it. It does happen. But again, like we talked in the very beginning, it doesn't like kindness is free. It is. It's definitely free, and give him more so constructive feedback so he can make those changes. He welcomes it. But when it becomes like an all out divisive war, yeah, no, that's where it gets a little bit too serious.
For sure. And you know, we see that also in like the Hasbro community. We were talking about Hasbro's products a few minutes ago. And yeah, there's like websites, and there's YouTube channels, and there's like, you know, commenters on Instagram that, you know, mm-hmm. they just perpetuate like all this negativity. And it's just like, I mean, you know, it's fine to have those thoughts, but it's you know, the way we articulate and present those,
yes,
it's going to have an impact.
Yes.
Versus just being, you know, negative for the sake of being negative,
or just the sake of. And that's the thing. Like, yeah. I've seen, you know, people who had those valid criticisms, but then people who loved it, and the people who loved it were getting attacked by the people who just didn't like certain things, or were coming in because they were pushing a certain narrative.
Yeah.
And that was, you know,
that's the worst.
Yeah. Right. It's like, if you have to take that much time and effort in your day to be that type of person, or to do that, like, are you that miserable? If there is there something in your life that needs to be corrected, where there are issues that you haven't dealt with, because that's what it feels like. It's like they take out the frustration within this particular space. You know what I mean? And then they drowned out the people who have those valid. It's like you got to weed through to know who's really, critiquing for the sake of wanting it to be better. And those are the people that need to be more vocal. And the noise of negativity needs to be turned down a notch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just an unfortunate space. But like I said, when I put out the review, the biggest thing is I wanted people's feedback. I wanted you to put that feedback out there, ask those questions, because then I'm relaying that back to Yost. Same thing. That's why he created his group. He wanted people to basically be in the now, like when they were having the discussions, and he was completely transparent through this entire journey. He was telling you what he was doing, his communications with Warner Brothers, trying to make sure that everything was completely accurate. He was letting you know what I mean? But it's everything. It doesn't matter. Is Hot Toys perfect? No. Is Jazz? I mean, is in art perfect? No. Even some of the blacks that we know that not everything is perfect. You know what I mean? It's a learning curve. Certain things you got to learn. You just got to walk through it. And he was hurt about it. But what I told him was, you know what? You don't take offense to it. You should actually be proud. You should actually take it as a compliment, because now you're up there. They're looking at your stuff. Put it this way, if in the eyes of these individuals, if you're not being attacked, then you're not doing something right. Literally. If people aren't talking about you in such a negative light, then you're not doing it, because at that point, then you're completely irrelevant. If they can't find something wrong. You know what I mean? That's just the way it is. So you just got to hold your head up and, put out the best possible, vehicle product that you can, stand on that, and then you'll get the response. That's just the way I see it. But I love the vehicle. I love it. Like, I absolutely, once you open up the canopy, you see the light up features on the inside. It is incredible. It is incredible. Yes. Peak. Yeah, it is. Peak, or is that Peak Obi-Wan or Peak?
Yep.
Yeah, it is 1/6 scale, and it's huge. It is exactly 56 pounds.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's 56 pounds. It's a heavy boy. It is. It is definitely a heavy boy.
Yeah. What is it like in comparison? Like, I only had the Hot Toys one I didn't even pull it all the way out of the box, but I looked at it really briefly. Like, how much does that one weigh? Do you know?
The Hot Toys version, not as heavy, because this has a lot of die cast pieces attached to it. It's not completely die cast, but it does have die cast inner workings and everything. There's a lot to it. There's definitely a lot to it, but it is a remarkable piece. And it was a car that I've actually wanted since seeing the film. You know what I mean? So having this in the collection is just a life fulfillment for me. And it have just the function, the workings, the inner workings, and how he's done it, and how they were able to pull it off. It's incredible. It's definitely incredible. I love it.
Absolutely. The next step from that would be getting a real Batmobile.
Right? That's just the way it feels. That's exactly the way it feels. But yeah, like anybody who's waiting on this, if you're waiting on it, because like I said, they should start receiving some late October into November. But if you have it, and once you get it, you're going to be proud, because you're definitely going to get an improvement from what we got. Definitely going to get an improvement, and all those kinks and everything is going to be ironed out, and you're going to have a remarkable piece.
Yeah. No, it's definitely, from everything I've seen, it looks like a grail. It looks like a centerpiece. It looks like probably the coolest thing you could actually have, like, as far as the collectible goes. It's just really incredible. And in your video, just seeing how innovative having that remote is to activate the turbine. It has a real turbine that spins.
Yes.
It has a steam that comes out of the back.
Yep.
Wow.
It's just a very, very cool,
It's
very, very impressive collectible.
And what he's doing is he's creating, so should be releasing soon. I think he hasn't put it up for pre-order yet, but he's releasing a companion piece for this. It's the figure that's already in the seated position that you can put inside the car.
Yeah, that's cool.
So that's going to be released. It's going to give you the motion of this driving. So That's definitely going to be coming soon. But it's
That's
it's
neat.
everything. It's everything.
I wonder if that would work with the Hot Toys version too.
It will. It will. Because he wanted to make it for both, for the Hot
That's
Toys
cool.
version and the JazzInc version. So basically, yeah, it will. You can use it in your vehicle as well.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's really good to know.
Yeah.
And that's really cool. I mean, like that he's doing that because most companies would not like
Nope.
make something that you could use with a competitor's item, right? So I mean, that's
yeah.
But I mean, he'll sell more of them that way too. So that's pretty cool.
Exactly. And I'm pretty sure like Hot Toys would appreciate that, even more. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's an incredible piece.
It really is. And if you guys haven't seen what this looks like check out Leo's review video on it. I mean, it is a gorgeous, gorgeous, amazing piece.
Yeah.
Like one of the coolest collectibles I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Next level for sure, but amazing.
I mean, when I got the box is the size, it's bigger than the box is almost as big as a fridge. It's almost as like almost a mini fridge. And it was crazy because the plaque for the vehicle came separate. They delivered the vehicle, but they had it sitting right outside my front door, but they didn't leave the plaque because they said there was nobody that was there to answer the door. So they took the plaque back, but left the vehicle. I was like, what? It didn't make any sense to me at all. Like it made absolutely no sense at all. So I had to basically wait like 2 days to get the plaque because they tried again. And I'm like, yo, I was here. I didn't hear whatever. So they brought it by the third day I got it. And that's what I was telling Yo. So I was like, you might want to put that plaque inside of the box because the box is big enough and the plaque is like really thin. Just put it inside of the box and that way everything comes together. It's a sign. But here's the thing, I think because he has to sign each of them. So I get it. I get it. I definitely get it. But yeah.
Is it the size of the barge? Is it like that big? Like
what this right here?
Yeah, like Java's sail barge. It's like, man, it's like 42 inches or something.
I think this is bigger.
What?
I think this is almost bigger. Yeah, it's big. It's definitely a big piece, and it is heavy. The tire, everything about this piece, it pops. It will pop on your display, like it definitely will. The LED light features in the car are just, I can't say enough about it. Like it looks incredible.
Yeah. No, it is amazing.
How much was this?
So in total with the shipping, it was about $1,800.
Wow.
Almost, yeah, $1,800, almost $2,000.
I mean, just looking at it, it looks like a top-notch piece, and everything you're describing on it is. I'm gonna check out that video for sure.
Yeah, check it out, man. Like it's, and I try to run through, everything because the thing is, I wanted to put it because it comes with like a rotating piece where you can rotate the car. You can put the I call them like the ankle busters that come out the side of the car when he's driving. You can put those on there too. But I just didn't have enough space, so I had to keep it on the table, on a little, I had my whole setup and everything, and just addressing there so you can actually pay more focused attention to the car itself. But I covered everything. I wanted to cover everything that it came with, all the accessories, just the detail quality of the, the sound of the turbine, the light up inside of the actual canopy, even from that to the turrets, the turrets that actually open up, on the very top. Wanted to cover that too. So yeah, it's a lot. But I was excited about it. Definitely was.
Yeah.
I will say I was born in 1980, and this movie and Ninja Turtles were the biggest movies I saw in the theaters from being a kid, and just the crowds, the lines, everything. Like this movie and that movie just stand out.
It did. It was because you remember, I remember going to see it. I went to the East 5 Theater here, and I remember that night because around that time, you had Prince's album that dropped along at the same time, around the same time of the movie. But even before that, there were people that were buying like the big Batman emblems that you can actually stick on your jacket. There was the pens that you could get. The news. It was such a huge event that Channel 27 News around the area, they were out there interviewing everybody, asking them about the movie. It was such an iconic moment. You know, again, like, you know, remember, like, people were pushing back against even Michael Keaton even playing Batman until he played it. Now you just can't think of anybody else outside of him at that time that could have. But yeah, this was one of the biggest films of his time. Loved it.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
And I've said this before, but I saw it in the theater too. I was very small. I should not have been in that theater that night. My older cousins, my teenage cousins, took me to see it, and I was terrified of the Joker. But I was there, and I did see it, and I saw Ninja Turtles too in the theater. I remember that too. But good times, good times.
Heck yeah.
So there's one more thing I want to show really quick before we move on to new acquisitions. And that is one more JazzInc item that is going up for pre-order, I think later this month or relatively soon. And this for sure I'm going to get in on. 100% for sure.
112%. Yes. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. It is phenomenal.
I am beyond ready for this.
I cannot wait.
So JazzInc does 12-inch or 1/6 scale
figures
as well.
They're doing 1/6 scale figures now. So they're actually they sort of tackled it with the Vulture, but they actually it was called the Iron Scavenger because again they didn't have the license for Marvel, so they did the Vulture from Spider-Man Homecoming. And that was their first entry, and it was incredible. It was definitely incredible. So this, once he's again, his Warner Brothers gave him the license to do it, he just decided to go all the way in, and I'm like, yeah, I gotta have it. It's definitely got. And so you're going to get like different versions. You can get the clean version, or you can get the battle damage version, or you can get the all-in set where it's both figures and they come with at least, I think, 4 or 5 head sculpts, different expressions. You know what I mean? And with the diorama base as well. So, but yeah, Victoria, I cannot wait for this at all. I cannot wait. It's incredible. It's a must-have.
Yeah, I mean, I I just am kind of speechless about it. Like and we've seen these images they've been out for a little bit, but just when I think about like finally, because Hot Toys did the Batman Returns Keaton version, the unmasked version, with the suit, and that was like about almost a decade ago now, I guess. And then but they haven't done Catwoman, right? They've done the Joker. And they've gone pretty deep into like the Dark Knight trilogy, into like Justice League and all those, but like I love that they're coming back to like the more to this, like, more Burton stuff, like because that's like really my Batman. And like for me, I like gotta have it. I mean she looks great, and it's like when he announced it too, like I remember reading, like, saying, "Oh, we have the approval of Lucasfilm, of Warner Brothers, and Michelle Pfeiffer like signed off on it." So it's very exciting.
Yeah, I cannot wait. When because he's doing this, he's also in the back end working on Poison Ivy, and let me see, it's Poison Ivy. I think it's the 2022 Catwoman as well. So he has plans on working on, just different ones. He wants to get this right first, but he does have some major plans. He does. But this, I cannot wait. I absolutely cannot wait.
And I think it goes up for pre-order. Is it later this month? I think they had said.
He said later September. So he's definitely going to give us, an update here pretty soon. We should be getting it pretty soon. So.
Cool. Are you thinking of going on the Queen version?
I'm going in on the whole set. I want the all-in set, both battle damaged and the clean version. Like I need, because you can't. The thing is, it's like you want them both because you can't have one. You technically can't have one without the other. I need to have both because I mean Michelle Pfeiffer killed it. So yeah, I already said I'm going in, on that all-in set with the diorama base. I have to.
Yeah. Very exciting stuff. And it's very exciting to hear the future of JazzInc, like what they continue to do as far as like these older Batman films. Like what else are they going to bring out? And the Batmobiles too. Like it's not just the '89 Batmobile, right? There's the '66 version. There's the Batman Forever version. So I mean, they're really developing some really cool stuff at JazzInc.
Yeah, and he's thinking about doing the Tumblr. I think he said they're going to probably tackle the Tumblr, and I'm like, yeah, I have the Hot Toys version. I'm fine with that one. I'm fine. I'm definitely fine. But yeah, it is quality work. I mean, you definitely, when they say you get what you pay for, you definitely get what you pay for if you actually pay for this vehicle. It's incredible.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I'm just gonna have to say it again. Where does she get these wonderful toys?
Right.
Speaking of toys, we're going to go into our very last segment of the evening. So this is new acquisitions.
Good. New acquisitions.
All right, so this is stuff that we've added recently to our collections. This is our show and tell portion of the show. Things we want to talk about that have come in recently. I have some stuff. John, I know you have some stuff. Leo, we talked about the Batmobile, but is there anything else you want to share that you've?
Yes. So there's a couple of things I got this week. So I got hold up, let me see here. So I got this one right here. I was excited about, definitely excited about. I couldn't wait. He's already up, but in the display, but it was one I couldn't wait for. We was talking about C-3PO earlier. I got the 000, nice. And this is, Dr. Afra, so definitely this is the 000 figure that I basically got, and I'm definitely excited about it. A huge fan of the book itself, and this character played such a major role. I got the Mighty Thor, Natalie Portman version from the Love and Thunder film. I didn't like the film, but I like the figures itself. And
her costume is awesome.
Yeah, it was. And if you are a original X-Men, classic X-Men fan, and, if you're a comic book collector and you love like the classic suits, I got the brown suit Wolverine in from Hano Studios. So that actually came in as well. So yeah, I mean, it was a lot. It's been a lot going on these past couple of days or a couple of weeks, but definitely excited about those pieces. So yeah, that was my haul this week. I mean, because the biggest of them all was definitely the Batmobile that came the week, or last week, whatever. So yeah, I'm hoping for like a quiet weekend. I hope nothing else arrives. Seriously.
I hear you there. And to everyone in the chat, let us know what your acquisitions you've acquired this week, and we will call them out at the end. John, what do you got brand new to show us this week?
I'm going to be a little selective because I'm not going to lie, way too much stuff arrived this week. I think a lot of people who collect Hasbro's, I think Black Series and TVC, it seems to be this time of year where a bunch of stuff, same thing as last year, just comes in all at once. So I'll just say, I know I showed quickly earlier. This came in. I haven't opened it yet because it's pretty mint, and I have a couple more on the way. So I'm going to open the one that's the most damaged. But from everything I've seen, people are over the moon with this figure right now. So excited for that one. I have to show off what we've been waiting for so long.
Yes.
Mando with his blurg. I almost ordered the Hot Toys ones. And I decided to not do that.
Yeah.
I do regret that because I do have Queel, Durasteel Mando, IG 11, and Grogu up there with my Mando helmet. Forget the studio who made it, but it's the really nice, the proper replica of Mando helmet. But anyway, I'm so excited to finally have this in the world building scale of 375.
That's
And
incredible.
his jaw opens up.
So cool.
Fully articulated. That's dope.
He's got rocker ankles. It's awesome. He's got a little tail that it's like a Velociraptor tail there from Hammond Collection. So he's great. I also got. I know I was previewing him earlier, but I got Cobb Vanth. He finally arrived. Walmart. He's shipping from Walmart.
Nice.
I'm really impressed with this figure. At first, I was like, "Oof, I don't know. Looks bulky." But it's pretty amazing. He is a little rubbery, which seems to be something that's going on right now with some of the figures. But he's pretty amazing. And I will show off that I have the this was you can obviously probably find this on Cults 3D or one of those sites to print it out. But this guy, this person on Instagram, Solo Arts 3D, paints it for you, and I could never do a paint job this good.
That's incredible, man.
So I was able to get him on there and get rid of my crappy custom of him.
That's incredible.
So I was pretty excited for that. I got a Hot Toys item that I was wanting for a long time. At one point, I was kind of out of the Hot Toys game, but one of my friends was selling off his collection, so I finally grabbed this one.
Yeah, nice. Nice.
Very cool.
So I'm excited to put him up there. Man, I have the Empire Strikes Back deluxe version, and I have one from years ago. I believe the company is it Metacom?
Yep.
Metacom Raw, Real Action Heroes, I think was the line. And I do love that Empire Strikes Back version because I feel like it always captured the skinny Jeremy Pollock body likeness. So we'll have to see how these are. I know the Empire Strikes Back one, maybe that's my only complaint for it from Hot Toys. It's not as I guess skinny as Jeremy was and whoever else played him. But I love them.
Nice, bro. Nice pickups.
Yeah.
One last thing that was sold out, and it came in stock on Amazon, and I missed it last time.
Nice.
Rad.
So I don't have the 1/6 scale figure of this, but I do have the Sideshow speeder bike, and like I mentioned, the Endor loop. But this makes me want to get a 1/6 scale Biker Scout now. So.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I picked that one up a couple months back, but I haven't opened it yet. I don't know if it's one of the ones that'll go on display, but it is cool that they're doing that, like more trooper helmets.
Yeah, and I got my Jabba set a week ago. It was a week ago we got them. So I'm super happy with that. And I've done a bunch of work to the throne room, which I've showed off before, where I've added some LED lights. I printed out some things that make it a little more Jabba specific, like wall switches and some of the piping and stuff like that. And added some more LEDs, which is a whole fun thing. And I think some of the JazzInc Dioramas have a lot of that stuff where there's LEDs built into them, and that's really it's really cool right now. I'll show how I've taken this really quick and added. We'll just turn it on. I don't know if you guys can see this, but now the spit, it looks better when it's a little darker, but
nice.
Yeah, that's really cool.
That's really dope.
Little things like that.
I'm gonna need to steal that from you.
Right. That's nice.
Well, if
love
you
it.
send me yours, I'll make one for you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I may have to do that then.
There you go.
That's really nice. That's dope.
Awesome. Well, I guess it's my turn. So I did get 3 of the Sabine packs. I mentioned that earlier. I left them in the other room because I wasn't, I was in a hurry to get things going, and then had the computer issue. But that, and then I got 2 of the blurgs. I haven't opened any of these yet, so I'll probably be doing that this weekend. The items that I do have with me, I got one from Amazon that shipped, this HK87 Assassin Droid.
Yeah.
In the latest wave. I did order a case from Entertainment Earth that way, but that hasn't shipped yet. I don't know if anybody's received those yet. And then so expensive week, yes, but these were on payment plans, so there's my excuse about that. I got my Praetorian Guard.
Ooh.
Just came in.
Yeah.
Yeah, Leia, I know you got 3 of these. I know you got 3 of them.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
a beautiful piece. Like, it's a beautiful setup in the display. I couldn't avoid it because I wanted to have that scene. I mean, just because they came in 3s, so it just looks really good. I mean, I have the Imperial Guards, I have the Praetorian Guards from Last Jedi, and I had to get the ones from Mando. I love them.
Yeah, it was really cool to see these guys in the show. They were awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, then we deviate from Star Wars, but we're still talking Hot Toys. So I received this one. Finally came in, the 89 Batman.
Oh, I still don't have mine yet. No, but I got the deluxe version. Is that the deluxe?
No, this is not the deluxe. I was gonna. So I had ordered the deluxe, and then I was like, well, the base. I started measuring like my space. I'm like, that's not really gonna work. So I switched it because I got on the wait list for the regular. And then so I went with the regular instead. But yeah, it's he's here.
Yeah,
I'm excited. And Star Wars, then Jurassic Park, then like Batman, specifically like Timber and Batman. Those are like my 3 biggest IP franchises. So
hell yeah.
And then another deviation from Star Wars, but still within Hot Toys. I got the new red and blue suit Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yes, you need that. It's a and the head sculpt is remarkable. It is an amazing piece. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited to pop that open this weekend.
Yeah. That's some good hauls. That's a good haul. Great hauls all across the board. Like, everybody got some crazy stuff. Heck yeah.
Totally.
I think someone in my household wants to show one of their acquisitions. Is that okay?
Absolutely. Let's take a look at it.
Nice.
So say hello. What your name is? Say it.
My name's Melinda.
Hi.
All right. So they're saying hello. So show them what you got. Who is that?
Cheetah.
This is Chester the Cheetah.
Come close.
Yeah. And so basically he has a toggle, but I think it's in common sense. And so I did this head and I changed his hair and throw in a hot Cheeto bag.
She loves flaming hot Cheetos.
Flaming hot Cheetos.
And then,
Every kid loves flaming hot Cheetos.
And he glows in the dark, and the
Yeah.
Cheeto does too.
Wow.
That's so
Glow in
cool.
the dark, yes. I don't know.
And the box is really cool. Like the box it came in. I've never really heard of. Is it Jada? Jada Toys.
Yeah.
Victoria, you might know about him. But,
Yeah, Jada Toys.
Okay, yeah, and the box is really cool. It's almost like a nutrition facts, but it's like all of the details of the figure, like how many accessories, how many heads, and like it's really cool. Did you drop something? Oh, don't lose his bag of chips. So, well, thank you for showing us your recent acquisition.
Yes, thank you very much. That's super, super cool.
Yeah, nice.
Thank you, and it's very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very
see
cool.
you.
Hi.
That's nice.
That's super cute.
Yeah. Thank you for letting me do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry we kept her up so late.
Oh, she's up, right? They're all up. All sorts of
weekend. You already know that.
Yeah, it's Friday night. Yeah. Let's see in the chat. Better A Bob got the Kanan, Ezra, Delta, and Pyroraptor this week in my Big Bad Toy Store pile of loot. Nice. Trevor got the Enfys Nest and Range Trooper, Sabine and Chopper, and his favorite thing so far, 2 Blurgs and Mandos. Very nice. Yeah, those Blurgs. Everybody's getting those Blurgs, and it's awesome. They actually did a creature. William says Sabine and Chopper won an auction for the Vintage Collection Grievous with all accessories, Clone Trooper 4-pack, and a bunch of the clone droids from Tangori. Cool.
Tangori.
Adam says, just got my TVC Blurg, May, and Assassin droid. Very nice. Pico Obi-Wan got Sabine and Chopper 2-pack and some action figure stands from Ian's Little Light this week. Very nice. That's still a good haul. This is interesting. Jeff says that the Sabine and Chopper pack is back up at Hasbro Pulse. I didn't know that.
Yes, it is. Yep.
You know what else is back up before I forget? The Star Speeder 3000, the whole saga of that. It's not back up on the website, but they are carrying leftovers from D23 at Walt Disney World. They're selling them limit 2 per person there. So if anyone has a connection or you know somebody that needs one, that's where they're available right now. And it's it's not a cheap thing to ship. I know that from experience, but it's still cheaper than going through eBay for sure. Let's see here. Adam says, I have the Hot Toys Blurg, John. It's glorious. Nice. Rick, how's it going, Rick? I saw your comments earlier. Picked up the TVC Sabine and Chopper, TVC Blurg, X-Wing Pilots, Hot Toys, 1989 Batman 2.0, G.I. Joe Classified, Iron Grenadiers, Alpine Raptor, Storm Shadow version 2, Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime. That is a haul right there.
Yeah.
That's quite a haul there. Shelf scenes. Yes, I got a few Blurgs. Need them for the Ewok Village with Teak. Very cool. Thank you, Shelf scenes. Mary says that she got the TVC Sabine and Chopper sets. She got 2 of them. She got 2 Blurgs and Mando sets. She got Osha and the Mesco Dick Tracy and Flat Top 2-pack and Hot Toys Groot and In-Art Aragorn. That is another fantastic haul.
Nice. That's incredible. That's incredible. And the In-Art, yeah. Mm-hmm. Nice.
Let's see, Pico Obi-Wan. I have the SH Figure Arts IG-11 with Grogu. Is the quintessential 6-inch version of that figure. Yeah, it is a really good one. Howrunner Base, how's it going? I saw your comments earlier as well. I found May and Oshi yesterday completing the newest wave of TVC for me. Very nice. I'm glad that we have those characters in TVC.
Yeah.
Still holding out for the Stranger. I hope that they bring him to the line. That's like really, really, really needed. Lorena, how's it going? Good to see you. Yep, HK87 is indeed here. Dodgson says the swap meets last weekend gifted me a Jurassic Park The Ride T-Rex cup topper. No cup, unfortunately, for $8. Nice.
Nice.
Robert, how's it going? Good to see you. His pickup this week was the Sabine and Chopper 2-pack on the glorious mural card backs, and he got 2 sets, one to open, one to keep carded. That's the way to do it when it comes to TVC, for sure. Awesome. And I think, let's see, Lorena says, I should have a pickup of Mando Commander trying to make Obi wanted to eat the Clone Wars, but it appears that it was lost by USPS. No, that's the worst. And Allison got, the only acquisition was Revenge AT-AT Commander Proof. I thought that I'd recycled accidentally. So finding that, very nice. That's one of the greatest things when you think you've lost a toy or misplaced a collectible, and then you find that, oh no, it's actually still here. That's a great feeling. Chara says that I should put the Stranger and Basil in my last figure standing. We'll see. We'll find out tomorrow. What's going to be going on that list. We'll find out. And Jeffrey got the Kang with Throne Marvel Legends. That was one of the ones that was up today on Hasbro Pulse. But Wido paid annual vehicle registration for $586. Okay, I hold my beer because I got you beat on that one. Like on the Mustang, it was more than that. Yeah, I still got to take care of that too. I could be getting Hot Toys, but I got to pay my car registration.
Yeah.
Anyway, Anyway, Satine, I hope you put Satine on your list, Lorena. That would be great to see. Oahu, yeah, I believe that. I believe that for sure. Cool. Well, I think that covers it, you guys. I just want to mention one more time. My voice is starting to give. I've been talking all day and all week at work. I want to mention it one more time that tomorrow we're kicking off Last Figure Standing, and that is John is very much putting a lot of time and effort into Last Figure Standing. So definitely check that out. The live stream will be tomorrow on the Boss Bounty YouTube channel at 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Eastern. And the link is already there if you want to go over there and hit the reminder for that. And this whole campaign starts tomorrow, and I think it ends the first week of November. John, is that correct?
Yeah. We'll unveil the Last Figure Standing on November 2nd. The weekend before that, we'll kick off the final two where you vote for one of them. And if I can just say, we're going to do things a little different this year. Well, a couple of things. We're going to, first of all, tomorrow morning, if you go to banthaskull.com, probably around 7:30, 8 o'clock Eastern time, Chris is going to have an article where you can go and vote right away. So we're not going to like wait till the live stream and fumble around and try to like get everything out there and tell people to go. And we're going to allow voting. Well, we're going to have a couple weeks for the initial submissions of your top 10s, but then from there on out, we're going to do the voting from Saturday to Wednesday. And then that gives us a couple days to prepare and yada, yada, yada. Because we always see the votes kind of die down after a few days. But yeah, so check tomorrow morning, banthaskull.com or last.figure.standing on Instagram. That's it. Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome. So tomorrow night we will be there for that, and I will be one of the guests on tomorrow's kickoff show. So I'm excited to show my list of my top 10 tomorrow evening.
Can't wait.
See what happens when you're a teacher. You start losing your voice by Friday. But yeah, anyways, you guys, this has been great. We've been going a long time, obviously. But, we covered a lot of ground. We reacted to Hasbro PulseCon reveals from today. And, we praised some things, vented a little bit about a couple of things. And we talked about some hot toys and some JazzInc stuff. But all great stuff. Next week, speaking of Batman, we have a Batman special episode next week. We're going to be talking about the Kenner Batman line, pretty much the whole show. So I'm really excited about that because, that's one of my favorite toy lines that's ever been made. And I'm going to have Work More or Less, Jason Young returning to Social Hour, as well as Ryan Dole returning to Social Hour. And then Blaine from Works at NECA will be with us. And we're going to be talking about the Kenner Batman toy line. So looking forward to that. And then the week after that, we have a Halloween special. It's going to be fun. It's going to be spooky. It's going to be probably a little bit creepy. We're going to tell ghost stories. We're going to talk about possessed.
Are you going to be dressed like in costume?
Just have to find out. We'll see.
Sorry.
Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. Cool. And if I do, what's it going to be? I have no idea. We'll find out, though. We will find out. Awesome. Well, thanks again, you guys. I have links to your socials and your YouTubes down in the description. But John, where can our viewers go to look you up on the internet?
So you can go to Star Wars, the Vintage Collection Facebook group. JohnMiko.com is my new-ish blog site. So there's some good information there. I try to write an article, once a week or a couple times a month. Give you guys credit for all that you guys do to pump out videos and content all the time. I don't know how you do it because I made one YouTube video and it took me like 8 days. So, anyways, yeah, that's where you can find me. And I'm at the Far Side of Endor on Instagram, and I followed Mr. 16 Scale Man the other day. So I look forward to seeing more of your content.
Brother. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that, brother. Definitely appreciate it, man.
Very cool. And Lael, where can our viewers go to look you up?
Yeah, you can find me on the 16 Scale Man YouTube channel. Definitely same name on Instagram as well. We have the Figure Flex Friday Facebook group, where here's the thing: the good part about the group is it's not concealed to just 1/6 scale collecting. It's 1/12 scale, 1/10 scale, whatever. It's again whatever company that you want to submit a photo. Again, it's figure photography. We've just completed what is called our Summer Madness, where we had a winner today who actually won a free Hot Toys figure. So they're getting a Mace Windu, so that's going to them. We got what is called the Fall Fallout, Fall Figure Fallout that's actually coming up, where there'll be 2 figures that are going to be up for grabs. Actually, there's going to be 3 winners. First winner is going to win a figure. Second winner is going to win a figure, and the third winner is going to win a $100 gift card for Sideshow. So definitely, there again, you don't. It can be of all scales. It's not just confined to 6 scale. Even submitting art pieces, prints, original prints that they've actually done. Anything is picked. You go into the running if you actually win, or if you receive a golden ticket. You go to the very end, you have actually chance to win the figure. So it's a very incredible community. We embrace everybody who comes over. Anything you submit as far as your photography is always embraced. It's such an incredible community. So definitely make no toxicity at all. So you can just head on over there, become a member. But yeah, you can find me there. And yeah, thank you so much. It's coming here is always, it's good. It feels like, we have discussions about Star Wars. We have discussions about Black Series, vintage collections, stuff like that. It just feels like Christmas. So let's go. Love it.
Totally. Well, thanks. It's been a pleasure to have both of you on the show this evening. And, of course, we'll definitely have to do it again sometime.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Thanks for having us, Victoria.
And thanks to everybody in the chat and those who have been tuning in. We appreciate you as well. Thank you for coming in and hanging out with us on your Friday night. We appreciate you spending it with us here in the Cantina. And we will see you again next week. Same time, same place. And no matter where you're tuning in from out in the galaxy, thank you for watching Cantina Social Hour. Be well, be safe. May the force be with you. Have a good weekend. Panel, hang on for just a second. Everyone else, we will catch you next week. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you very much.